Oh, I don't know what accent I bring though. See, but I'm from the USA, and I want to see if you can guess the accent. I'm certainly not from New York, I can tell you that. But anyway, I'm interested in networking with many of you at the university. Thank you so much. No, by the way, this young lady with me, she doesn't want to talk, but she's with me. Miss Celestina, she's with me, she comes with me, so thank you very much.
Celestina, we still not gonna skip you. Go ahead, thank you.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. My name is Abibifahodie. I'm a Ghanaian German. I kind of live in the UK, so this time I came to Ghana. I moved to Ghana in 2022. I'm still back and forth. I'm doing a PhD in sociology, and I also run a magazine called Pure Study. Thank you. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. And I was living in the US for a while. I think that went to so now I'm trying to get back into I don't think that out. So I'm now trying to get back to getting ways back.
Seiko, you're welcome.
Anna.
Good afternoon. My name is Stanford. I've been in Ghana since July. I'm a very old student. I'm a PhD program, and I also
That's all you want people to know. No, so much more.
oh, and none of
You were formerly where for so many years, just in case you have questions.
I'm from Ohio, but I was formerly in the DMV. I was formerly in the DMV for a very long time, more than I was in Ohio. So, but I'm here now, working at our university.
So if any of you have young people and they're looking for information about university, because you're a gem in our community. So I know you want people to know that you bake, but you can also help their kids go to school.
So I'm a graduate and I worked at the university for a while. So if you do have questions, I may be able to point you in the right direction.
Okay, she kind of said she retired. Okay, we get it, thank you.
Hello, my name's Abibifahodie Sanford. I'm the mother and co-created this. And I'm following her because she claims that I can't take care of myself. And I admit that she does. But anyway, I'm retired and presently help administrate in Nigeria. And I plan I'm in the midst now of planning a what we call Kingdom Advancement Summit in North Texas. We had one last year, Silver Spring, Maryland. I was in DC, I think 6 years. And before that, Ohio, before that, Chicago, where I worked with the ministry in Chicago for very many years and planned these. And this year, what my goal is spiritually is to make a collaboration between Africa and the USA in advancement of God's kingdom.
Thank you, Mom.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Regina Mercer. My Fanti name is Ya Abatechwa. And I am originally from Kansas City, Missouri, in the heart of the U.S., landlocked, but Chief Kingdom Bound. I know I'm really walking on some eggshells with the Eagle fans here, but I am truly a Chiefs fan. I have been here in Ghana back and forth since 2021 and almost permanently since 2023. So I currently stay in the East Legon area, even though I've been somewhat all over. I am a retired educator of 38 years in music education and the performing arts. I have performed all over the world. I don't know, a few grand stages. One particularly was the Super Bowl, which was Super Bowl 16. I did the halftime show then. But it's great to be here in Ghana. My parents are deceased, but I was able to bring them back with me in 2021, and where we did a libation and laid them in their final places. So I feel very much so here at home. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Wow. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dabi Rosie. Dabi. But I just happened to get that name from my parents. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. My dad's name is David, and they started having so many girls that they wanted to start naming us after him. I'm the last one, so I got Dabi. They took the D off of David. So I moved to Ghana a year ago, and everybody thought I was anyway because Dabi means Foxy. Anyway, so I landed here in Ghana a year ago. I used Ghana as a base to do the other work that I'm doing across Africa and the Caribbean around women farmers. My sister friend and I are writing a book called My Mom the Farmer about indigenous women farmers across the world. And so that's what I've been doing, is going around and interviewing farmers for the past 5 years. My original job, my background is in administration of justice. And so I worked for the Delaware Center for Justice for a number of years, working on prison advocacy, supporting justice-involved people as they communities. And so I'm just happy to be here. It's been a year in Ghana. I'm loving it. Still here, still happy. That's great. That's 1 year in and you're good. Okay, thanks for having me. Thank you. And thank you for the joy you bring. Oh, one more thing. My work here that I'd love to connect to is youth leadership and development. I use the sport of jump rope, particularly double dutch, to teach anything to children. I use it as an engagement tool to teach any subject that you want them to learn. So that's where I'm looking to connect to your youth leadership and development work. Thank you. Can you jump double dutch? I can. You good? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Oh, I can jump, we can go. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lamiko. Everyone calls me Mika McGee. I am originally from Mississippi. My family's from the Mississippi Delta. Currently, I'm in Massachusetts, a dean of students at Amherst High School, Amherst, Massachusetts, about 5 minutes from the W.E. Du Bois Library. I've been coming to Ghana for a while now, over a decade, and hopefully I will be getting my citizenship soon, and I will be coming more often to say.
Thank you.
Well, hello, good evening, everyone. I am called Leah from my family, my friends, grandchildren. I moved here part-time starting in 2023. So I lived 6 months, well, 7 months here and 6 in the US. I have a all-natural health and beauty where I make natural soaps and all that other stuff. And it helps support the ministry here, which is a good bakery also.
Yeah,
So I can tell you about my product. So if you're gluten-free and you're wheat intolerant, I make breads and pastries and cookies and brownies and cinnamon rolls and everything else I can think of. I live in, I was born in Chicago. I was raised in California, and I moved to
Montana, and then to Washington State, where I have a house now that I go back to and go to. Here I live in Canada, which is over by City, and it's a little residential community. And I'm so happy to be here. So thank you all for it. So if you need anything, sweets or pastries or whatever, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cheese. I am from Guadeloupe, French West Indies. In Ghana since December 2020. I got the citizenship last March, November 2024. So I wish everyone who is asking for it, requiring it,
Yeah, just send it to you.
the best of everything. And I am, my expertise here is, I am an artist in recycling art. And I think we are
I'm here.
English, making groups, designing groups, administrating groups, groups together from TypeScript to English programming, so I've worked in London, Paris, Paris 20 years, London 12 years, and New York 3 years. So I am here to live and die. I won't move anymore. And next week I will be organizing a workshop around recycling art. So if you are interested, around using food as well and use a guest for a new concept so that people who feel that they are not artists can still make it happen because everyone has some way, some talent or something to be discovered. So I think for that.
Okay, so I just sent it to you. And of course, you want to do this.
My name is Brother Hamid Ansari. And I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, and I worked in the water treatment for about 16 years, and I'm retired. My main concern, back in the 70s, in the early 70s, I used to of Malcolm X newspaper I used to sell that in separation is our salvation. But I don't want to get started. My concern is bringing us together. And this is the vision that we used to market of bringing us together. And I am happy. I am so happy to be alive, to participate, and helping to give a contribution of bringing us together. I'm no longer part of the group, but my foundation came from that, and that's one thing I'm happy about. And I'm saying, let us work hard to bring this together. Please, work hard to bring this unity together. And we are nothing as individuals, but when we live in Africa, we are great. And I'm sick of us being in a second class or inferior situation. And so let us work together. That's all I'm saying.
Here's a celebrity right here.
This flag, this is on the side. Press that button. No, the light is on, it's your birthday.
Hello, it's my voice. Yes, my name is Claire, Mrs. Ansa. We were originally living in the UK. My husband is UK Ghanaian, I'm a UK born lady. And yeah, we got married, everything in the UK. And then we transitioned over here. We've been coming up to 7 years with the whole family, came with the children, so that they could be reconnected with their heritage and everything. And also we are wanting to also, we got some land we also wanted to do the whole live off grid out of the system. And our vision is to help children to see that the resources of Ghana extension applicants for them. And so we have lots of different things that we are intentionally trying to feed the children with. So my daughter had written storybooks for children, promoting heritage and culture. She speaks the language very well. She's now a piano tutor, and so she does private lessons as well. They all play instruments. My son has a fashion design company called Iketa. He's using that to promote heritage through his wares. So I'm saying all of that just to say that we are intentionally trying to raise our children up to be aware of the resources of Ghana and to use it to build up family economics as well as generational wealth along that line. I personally also will host a networking fun day. I was here last time we had this. A networking fun day where the diaspora and the community can come together, meet, reconnect, and network. It's adult centered but children inclusive. So I hire a space and I try and do different activities for every part of the family so that we can all connect if we have children. We don't have to feel like I need to leave them at home, etc.
You are not trying, you are succeeding.
Oh, I'm so thank you. Thank you for the 2 minutes. 2 minutes, sorry. All right, so that's me. She's shutting me down. That's fine. So my name is
Lifting you up. Lifting you up.
Thank you. I host that program. So do get in contact with me afterwards. And I'm here to hear more about what is happening with citizenship. That's why. Thank you.
While we're passing them on to Monica, I need everybody to move up closer. I don't know why we do this thing. We fought so long, we could not sit in the back. And then we come here and we sit in the back. I don't know that. So I need everybody back here to move up right. I beg. There's some empty rows right here. I beg. Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to say that any program we have in 2026, as we're waiting, someone take the mic and do the introductions. There's no need for us to wait if we see the program is taking a long time. The introductions are important, and we're committed to making sure we know who every single person is in this room, because it's too often we come in spaces and we don't know who we are. So next time, I won't even see some of you till the next town hall meeting. So it's important that we know who we are. So I don't mind going through this whole exercise.
People are still saying,
Network, where your life start, the whole night. So Monica, thank you. Monica, you can't just leave up.
may call an administrator so she can let people in.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Monica.
Are you coming or is not?
I've been in Ghana.
No, she's coming.
We're coming back and forth.
I'm sending you the link so you can see the Kala quizzes.
Coming for the West African Festival. My son is our West African percussionist, and they were performing with King Khan as a part of the Back to Africa Festival. I have since married a Ghanaian, become a citizen. My background is in education. I'm the co-founder and director of Simple Homeschool, which is an African-centered homeschool network that has been around for 20 plus years. And I'm also now in the tourism business. I am the second half of Him Tours.
Hi, I'm Stacy. I've been coming here a few years. I teach at Howard. I teach entrepreneurship also at Howard. And my husband and I have a number of businesses in the U.S. and also here in Ghana. We start businesses up in Ghana. But anyway, we're just happy to be here and enjoy the community.
Yeah, my name is Norman Wallace. I'm originally from North Carolina in the States. I'm currently living in Maryland. As my wife Stacey said, we have some businesses over in the U.S. Starting some here in Ghana. I've been coming here since 2024, I believe, and I just enjoy the camaraderie of the people and also the weather, of course, considering what it's like in Maryland right now. And just look forward to meeting you all and working together.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Biati. I'm originally from North Carolina. I've been coming back and forth to Ghana since 2021. I'm an educator by trade, but I am also in the tourism business here in Ghana. One of my dreams is to be able to bring student groups to Ghana. But again, I'm just happy to be here and to work with the community.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mr. Ayimboga from Ghana, East region, Ghana. I'm a farmer and I'm into creative art. Thank you.
I need baskets all over, so we have to talk.
Tonga baskets, best in the world. Hello, my name is Darnell Brown. They call me DB too short. Believe it or not. I'm representing the state of Ohio. I'm from the first Martin Luther Ohio. That took place April 4th at his assassination, December 1st, 1969, where our parents fought the oppressor for real for a year and a half. And that's why you've never heard of the first Martin Luther King Jr. It was a battle. I'm also here to represent the city of Las Vegas. I hold the last Black Radio Grammy issued by Jack the Rapper, the godfather of Black radio music. This was given to me in 1994 by Barry Gordy, by Jack the Rapper, by everyone. Long story short, I'm here to start radio in northern Ghana, in Northern Tonga. That's the history, the music, and the culture both north to south in Ghana. And so our audience in Las Vegas, our artists are on standby to come here to perform for real in Ghana for the purpose of extending the legacy of Black radio and music here in Ghana. We can't do it in America. It's an absolute sellout. I can tell you all about it, or you can read the book. But the point is, we're here. I also serve another thing. I'm Tashaka Soumani. I serve as president, founding president of the Black Star Division, UNIA ACL LRC 2020, which is the third reconciliation of African people on the earth. My president general is Akibi Nkrumah, who has advised me to do my best work. And I will do that every all the time. This man right here, and from behind
Radio, you got 2 people, you got 2 minutes.
30 seconds. This man from the north of Tonga has been working with me personally for 17 and a half years to get to this point that we are today. It's nice to meet you. It's good to work with you. Let's elevate our people here and around the world. Respect. Grace first.
Thank you. I probably would let that Jack the Rapper, by the way.
Hello, my name is Abdul Malik Shakir. My day name is Kobe. Originally born in New York, met my wife in Connecticut. We raised our 3 children in California, and we now live here in Ghana. I work in healthcare informatics. We're basically trying to digitize health information so that it can be shared and have better outcomes, sharing data between places where they exist, and hopefully have a better research.
Thank you. Connecticut where?
Middletown.
Middletown, okay. Middletown is where the radio station is in Connecticut. Good evening, everyone. My name is Maureen Shakir. My name is Abner. I'm born and raised in Connecticut. California, and moved here from California. Been here since last November. My first time in Ghana was back in 1995 or 6. We stayed in Tonga. Yeah, so I never moved to Belize. Thank you and welcome. Greetings, everyone. I'm Vanessa. And I've been in Ghana since November the 21st. I will be here. I'm going to go back to America. Young girls in Ghana who are impoverished and living in substandard homes. So I'm starting a foundation for this, so I can empower them, give them a sense of dignity and pride, and educate them and hopefully put them in society so they can be productive citizens of Ghana.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sloan. I'm born in the UK. I have a background in psychotherapy. I've been visiting Ghana since 2023.
Greetings, everyone. I'll keep it brief. 2 minutes of what else? Okay. Jason. It was COVID, I never went back. Crazy times. I live out. If you need to get your energy up, contact. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am some of our traditional folks here. So wherever I go, they seem to give me a name. So among the airways are Maoli, another group, I am Tete, and I've chosen for myself Akente. Why so? Because the Greek Akhenaten is Akente, you find among the Akabisha. Greatly. Somehow, Ghana is bringing my DNA. My to mentor black boys. So from 1994 until I was 16, I mentored, and I wanted the most difficult children. I wanted the children who needed. Nyame Ejuma. Nyame Ejuma.
Onyame's work.
Onyame's work. And I would explain, people would say to me, oh, when I went to school, oh, Mr. Nyame. Mr. Ejuma. Experience, common sense, and insight, what I brought around schools. Now, I came to Ghana very quickly. First time when I was 6. Ghana is a little bit older than myself, what we're saying. Now, my translation came down at Elmina. Let me just say that. Transformation. And I say it this way. Binananu aforemi abafie. Asam aba. So what that's transformed into is what you see here. The victory of my ancestors, the victory of our to receive and restore them to victory. The Gambian. What is a call for us to be here? Yes. Mark my words, Ghana and anywhere else.
I want to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. But where was
Okay.
Oh, it's a one-line answer.
It's Jamaica.
Which part?
A red Igbo. And I get that to mean the red skin Igbo. And when I did my DNA,
Everybody.
I am Russell Smith. I'm from Ohio and a nurse and in the military for the government for 35 years.
No.
You know? And I'm so glad to be here. To see what we're going to be.
It's already been taken.
Ambassador to the state of the African. I'm also a minister of the State Department. I came to California. My daughter married a Ghanaian. I came to visit for 3 months. I love it so much I didn't know that. So I'm just grateful and happy to be here, and you're welcome. I'm a member of the Black Agenda Foundation.
We're almost done with our introductions. Thank you. I have.
Good afternoon. My name is Mika Atuka. People gave their day name, so my day name would be Larva, because my husband and his family are from Boulder, so I heard all of that Boulder representation in here today. And allowing them the opportunity to visit at the university. So I have several that are even here at Libation that we are funding. So thank you. And if any of you are interested in joining the African American Association of Ghana, I am the treasurer and the person that you check in with on events.
I'm Dr. C. I'm the presently the financial secretary for GGG. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. I came here, and I am the retired pastor and senior minister.
We'll go this way. Dr. Whitaker, I'm coming to you. Then Dr. Okay, you're like.
Joyous Cameroon and also Sekolah in Zimbabwe. I came here to get my citizenship. Okay, I'm originally from Galveston, Texas. And I came here for 2 days and went to there and came back for 2 days and went. I loved it.
You have 2 minutes after.
Yes, my wife loved it, and we decided to want to be here. And this lady has helped us all with what she need, and thank you for it. So.
Yes.
I'm a medical doctor, graduate of Oakland, Boston University, Harvard School of Public Health. My first mission on residency is Nelson Mandela. My specialty is found in the stroke book and doing systolic and diastolic pressure. I thought it was worth it in case people could read the pictures. So few others, okay. And so I'm here to assimilate, affiliate, associate. I love being a doctor, and I'm a vegan, 50 years, also a Vietnam War veteran. I'm 72 years old. Okay, this is what it's like. So I'm not ashamed of anything that I do. I'm transparent, and I like to help you to get where you need to be in your health.
Let's have you guys next. Hello, Dr. Beth Roach. My name is ready. I've been working to God since 2021. I'm still trying to get it. I am also a physician. I go to East Coast, New Jersey. Yes, I'm old. I've been working in occupational environmental medicine. So that is my focus. And hopefully we'll be able to, something that is imaginable in place health instead.
Can we introduce yourself? She has to.
My name is Takia Young, and introduce myself in general. Yes. Okay. I'll take what you do. What I do. Okay. So my name is a project manager and a technology consultant and digital transformation expert. And so companies come to me when they're looking to figure out how to take an idea from ideation to marketplace, typically with some kind of technology involved. Clients better. So my clients are typically institutions of higher education, nonprofits, and government organizations that service higher education, nonprofit, and then technology organizations as well. In addition to that, I also have a company called Rocket Society. So for this festival, we want. And you're part of my social life. Yes, yes, and we have Black folks. So there's that, and I spent culture and today, so my pleasure. And lived in Ghana and Trinidad and Tobago, and sprinkles in the United States. I'm also on the steering committee for the Trinidad and Tobago Social Club of Ghana, as well, which is a new to complement the existing organizations that exist here around the diaspora. And I'm also a member of Africa Office, so incorporated, which just started a chapter here in Ghana in January to serve. Charlie sisters are here. I'm just saying earlier. And I'm also a Triple G. I went to Ghana many years ago. I went to Lincoln University, which is the alma mater of Kwame Nkrumah, class of 1939. So I remember Ghana a lot when I was younger. Learned a lot about Kwame Nkrumah when I was in my alma mater, and Lincoln University, which is and the legacy that's built here. So otherwise my adopted place, and happy to be here and to be of service and to learn part of the conversation. His son is right here in the room, so you should talk to him before you leave. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I will.
You have 2 minutes.
Okay. So I am Nataki Kambon. I learned yesterday at an event that people don't recognize me unless I'm traveling. But I came to Ghana because 27 years ago, my mother, Dr. Malia Kambon, did the Sankofa journey and brought Ọbádélé Kambon, and they've been bringing people to Ghana for the last 27 years on the Sankofa journey. He moved here. I do business consulting, so I'm behind the scenes. I help people set up, manage, and a number of things so that you can actually be an entrepreneur. We have a lot of people who end up being locked into self-employment, but my job is to make it where you can operate a business and your business can operate without and less self-employed people. So I do that using AI, technology, human resources, and other things. In addition to all of that, I co-own a vegan and I'm very proud of my business partner, who is going to be a student here at this university later this year. And in addition to that, I am the connection is I do not plan on showing people houses one by one, but I got into the real estate industry because real estate in Ghana is crazy and has been crazy, but leveraging AI background and all of these things, we're doing some things to make purchasing homes safer, more transparent, and easier for people who want to live, rent, buy, etc. And that your initiative and a member of the Black Agenda. Thank you. Thank you.
So we want to get started with organizations at the table. First of all, again, welcome to the, okay, thank you.
I have permission from my elders to get started with a libation. Ago. So tomorrow, I know what as I say, I do most of my journey. They fed me. Say for about a day from me now. Nana broke down. Nandam Tiadima. I see you go. Afraid if you for a piano, so I'm Mamma. Mamma, you must see. Nana gang, and I said, there's from Nim in Yansa, there's from Cotton and Quanim, there's from Puntin. I don't be Bibia there, the papa. For some phone sound for a second phone sound for Yoko phone sound for a Ghana phone sound for British phone sound for one phone sound for we not create if you for Mumbai and Anambia, Professor Bekai home. Please mention the names of the ancestors as you
Kambon.
as you jump up. Now, say a car.
Yeah, Brenda Mohammed.
Yes, you know, so when you know it's from, you say, who from the Apani? I been for swap when I surround our my name fra, my afonsi, my cotimbu, my Bolivia and time. Who Cabomwa and Buddha, and Timon Kayambon, set up a Yabinya, Abibitumi and Abibifahodie. After that, Tampobia, come on, gonna be before the Jadian. Of Bonabra from a year. Shall say, we don't sign and train a busiapo. And Timoan the Moho saying, and Tinipa Bonaphobia, come Moshirana, Yahay, Moshira Miamia, Pai Modaurama, Moshirana, Cose. It's known as a libation, and this is where we ask for all of our great grandsons. We offer first drink to, or water in this case, to the Supreme Being, the spirit of the earth, the spirits in nature, our ancestors, and then we ask for, unity, for power, for liberation, for all of those things. The ancestors, and we went on to ask for all of the blessings that are required for us to curses on all of the enemies of Black people.
Okay, so again, we want town hall where many of our organizations are here united, and again, introduce ourselves. And I'm hoping that before you leave, you would have met a friend or someone that you can intersect with on business and or organizations, and then we'll get right into our program. Today's program is called Addressing the Elephant in the Room, and as
Hello, can anybody hear me in the Zoom?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
There were a few people online who also introduced themselves and typed their introduction in the chat and wanted to share who they are. So if it's possible, just like those in the audience, to do that at some point.
Yeah, I actually planned on doing that when it came to me, is to read through to me.
And I think we're going to circle back to it. So, yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings everyone. My name is Russ. I was taking over on to Jamaica, and as you can see, I am back to the return. Also, by profession, a visual artist. Some of you may know my work because I was an artist for Peter Touch, Mama Africa album. I designed an album. Peter Touch and the world tour 1984. Where I was able to meet a lot of inspirational Latin American artists like Curtis Mayfield, and I did some work for Curtis Mayfield. Yeah, as I said, I'm a visual artist by profession, but here in Ghana, I'm also a social and activist. That's my main occupation. I'm the founder of one of the battling to ensure that cannabis is legalized in Ghana. So far, it has been legalized, but the industry needs to be in place. The legal weed. One that we smoke that is for medicinal and industrial purpose. Eventually we'll get to the other one as well, but so now we start off with that one. I'm also a founder of the Rastafari. Mobilizing director for food sovereignty government, which you may have some information concerning that. That is an anti-genetically modified organization that took the government for court and 10 years now, and we're gonna battle the GMO Ghana until victory comes. Okay. You may also that the action of the school was prevented from going to school because of the dreadlocks. But I was the engineer behind that in terms of ensuring that the right and there was a big victory. And one of them in Pennsylvania University right now who have just made a computer from scratch and it's making a lot of waves. So we see the damage that we'll be doing for our children. I am a member of the Black Agenda, which is an organization that just got established in order to ensure welfare, social and political welfare in Ghana, especially when it comes to our citizenship. We are at the forefront trying to ensure that we have a seat at the table so that whatever policies are being passed, we can make our
I need to follow that. Is Kipboy Burton, and I represent the Ghana Caribbean Association. I'm a Jamaican who's been here for 6 years now, and cool, yeah. Welcome, guys.
In your purse? Thank you, everyone. So my name is Shannon Nana Akusia McGee. I was born in Mississippi. I was here for over 20-something years, where I've had the pleasure of developing 2 schools in the Ashanti region, one in Agogo, Ashanti Achem, and the other one in Ejisu, Abenasi. I said President of the African American Association of Ghana. I am an educator by trade, former director of admissions at Academic City University, and currently director of admissions at Garden City University in Kinyasi, Kumasi. And the way forward and where we are with citizenship, the update, and then to provide everyone some history as to how the Black agenda has come into being. So with that, I want to turn it over to Ɔbenfo Ọbádélé Kambon. Thank you.
Let you know that online we have Brother Yazid Muhammad from Real Repatriation Consultants. He is coming out of Akosombo, so it was a bit of a long drive, so he's going to join us virtually. Then also Kala Kambon. I wanted to mention just a few of the people who introduced themselves. AC Felina Jordan Shaw out of Cleveland. We have Ajakwa Joe out of New Jersey, Monique Ya, retired educator, Bakari Nyara Quinto out of Maryland. Terry Lewis.
I am hearing that those on the mic, including Dr. need to speak louder so they can be heard more clear. And also Brother Yazid and Tala are prepared to introduce.
Out of Florida. So essentially we have a very Pan-African crowd, both in person and online. Mama Kala introduced herself as having repatriated in 2011. She is my wife, mother of Diana, Rachel Okello, UK, Vanillin, England, UK, and Pamela Monk, member of AAAG, home in Florida, apartment in Ghana, and then Terry Lewis from Cleveland. Yourself.
Thank you, brother. Dr. Kambon. I'm an African American from Virginia Beach, Virginia, or the Tidewater area to be specific. In Africa, now operating as Real Repatriation Consultants based in the Akosombo area along the Volta River near the powerful to bridge the gap between Africans and the diaspora and continental Africans through education, culture, and economic empowerment. Through our Volta Riverside Event Center, we have Kwanzaa gatherings, peace concerts, and Pan-African community forums. Our work focuses on restoring African identity and creating practical pathways for repatriation and land acquisition without conflict. Over the years, we have been honored to collaborate with national institutions and community organizations, and we have received recognition for our cultural education programs. I'm also the author of Discover the Akosombo Area Tour Guide book, available now on Amazon. Repatriates seeking to understand the beauty, opportunity, and legacy of the Akosombo region or area. Most importantly, Brenda Karima Muhammad, peace be upon her, Her vision strengthened Pan-African consciousness, planted the seed that brought forward in the work that I do. Thank you very much, and I look forward to building with you all.
This is Kala Kambon. I am one of the representatives of the Decade of Our Repatriation, as well as Repatriate to Ghana and Abibifahodie.com, all of which are involved in supporting Black people and returning home and providing educational services online and off and in various areas. And I'm sure with everything that's going to be mentioned, you'll learn more about that today. So again, thank you to everyone. Akwaba.
I think from this point on, if you are interested in taking notes, now and go ahead and put it on silent.
All right, and let me put my phone on silent as well. I'm using it as a hotspot for all of those that we are here in the Nana Kwame Nkrumah complex, and we are joined by the son, the biological son of Nana Kwame Nkrumah himself.
Can we stand for that, please?
I was driving and I saw you standing there as I drove by, and I knew you from a video that you did with. I was like, oh, I think I just saw your brother. She was like, yeah, he's around. So I said, okay, I'm sure we'll link up at some point in time, and here we go. Ɔbenfo Ọbádélé Kambon. I am an associate professor here at the Institute of African Studies. Here in linguistics. When I finished, I won the Vice Chancellor's Award for the best PhD thesis in the humanities for a thesis. Provost Publications Award 2 out of the 3 times that they've had it. Pan-African Leadership, the Nana Kwame Marcus Mosiah Garvey Foundation Award. But essentially my scholarship is around Black liberation, Black power for Black. Into the presentation at this point. And then another important point is that in this building, downstairs in the senior common room, we had in 2015 held at Commonwealth Hall. And one of the ideas that came up was, why do we have to wait an entire year before we can wait a year? And I said, I can offer this space here at the Institute of African Studies. So we met every 3rd Sunday, all the way up into Secretary to President Mahama Kwesi Kwartey come to that meeting, and he was told that we contribute a lot and we don't get very citizenship. He took that message back to President Mahama, and from there, that is how we got citizenship. So you're in a very historic. I'm going to start my presentation, and I'll share my screen for those online as well. President of Triple AG wants, the president of Triple AG gets.
Actually forgot that.
Yeah. It actually came up because with the citizenship requirements that were announced on the 31st of January, there was a major, let me say, backlash in terms of diasporans who were saying, you know, what's going on? We've never been charged a citizenship fee. They're saying we have to have DNA tests, we have to have 5 years residence permit, all these different things. So we came together, and Nana Kosia, she said, are you joining the Zoom link? And I was like, what Zoom link? It was announced that we were going to get citizenship. I was invited down to the W.E.B. Du Bois Center, as well as the 28 of us who were getting citizenship. And I was met by, you know, several people, including a woman named Erica Bennett, Rabbi Kohen, and others. And, you know, she said, oh, I understand that you all are supposed to go to the Ministry of Interior today. And we were like, yes, we're supposed to go today. And she said, okay, well, that's interesting, but, you know, I'm your ambassador. And as your ambassador, I should lead this delegation down to the Ministry of Interior.
In 2016.
So this is in 2016. So, you know, I say, oh, all of us say there's no problem with that. Okay, that's fine. We all go down to the Ministry of Interior, and the first thing that fingerprints, all those types of things. And lo and behold, we came to find out that what she did is that she put her name on the list. Now, she had never come to those meetings that were here at the Institute of African Studies. Dr. Hamed Maulana composed a form, and all of us, the 28 of us, had filled out the form. She never filled out a form. And, you know, again, lo and behold, she added her name, the name of a woman named Brenda Joyce, a woman named Brenda Powell, her son named Nana Mahar, Dr. Desta, a woman who was based in Ethiopia. And, you know, so all of us were like, you know, this is a bit odd, but okay. Now, because she introduced herself as part of this delegation, as she's our ambassador, now there were supposed to be 50 other people, and they filled out the form. My wife was among them, but there were 50 other people, mainly people all of whom gave the forms to me in my office room 112 downstairs, immediately below this room. So I'm sitting in the waiting room at the Ministry of Interior, and I call her. And, you know, I say, okay, they're saying that, you know, these 50 other people can be processed if you give the go-ahead. And she says, I can't give the go-ahead because they haven't been vetted. And I thought it was curious because she and those who she added had also not been vetted. And I didn't have so much an issue. I did have an issue with the not straightforward way in which she offered to lead this delegation and then use that as a pretense to add her name and the names of her best friends. But I did have a major issue with and this is, you know, somewhere around July, August, and I wanted to use that opportunity to hand over these 50 additional forms. And he was like, you know, let's hold on for a second. You know, we'll see. Now, this is before President Muhammad was voted out of office, and there wasn't another opportunity until that call to Ambassador Bennett, where she says, no, those people haven't been vetted. They can't be added to the list. And Brother Yazid let me know that also his mother was supposed to be one of those who got citizenship, and she was also blocked. So this is 10 years I've never been in any type of meeting setting with this Erica Bennett or Rabbi Cohen where there was an opportunity to address I say my experience with Erica Bennett is she tricked us into saying, oh, let me lead you down, added her name and blocked all these other people. That's what I know about Erica Bennett. And I'll say it in front of anyone, in front of a firing squad. I'll say that is exactly what she did. And this is Nana Otubiade Nkonyahima. And she let me know something that Erica Bennett did to her. That there were people from Tulsa, the survivors of the Tulsa massacre, who Erica Bennett asked for her to organize the Queen Mothers to, be there and represent. For having to pay for it. And then Otubia says, in grace, she couldn't do anything other than, she said, it's fine. She used her own money to pay the transport of all these Queen Mothers to all their different places and all the regions that they had come to. And Nana Otubia told me that, later on, Erica Bennett had the audacity to say, can you do a thank you video for them because it's one of their birthday? Can you do a thank you video? And she just politely declined. But what that spoke to me was the impact that's happening on the society, that now diasporans are starting to get a bad name because these things are happening not just to us. And, oftentimes when they happen to us, (2016 to 2026). So we had this town hall meeting here on the 1st of February. And at the town hall meeting, we presented, all of the things. I actually read out what I composed together with Rabbi Cohen, several other people who are in the coalition. And for me, I was like, I would never think I would work with anyone from the coalition. But for me personally, I said the cause is bigger than any issues that I have. So let's deal with this and try to make sure that our people get citizenship. But as soon as we can, let's try to address the elephant in the room. So after that, but I want to give you a background as I do so. Those online, can you see the presentation?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right, as mentioned, I'm Ɔbenfo Professor Ọbádélé Kambon, also known as Nana Kwame Pebidate, our decan, Bamuchidom Hene a ewo epiapim Mampong. And if you can say that 3 times fast, I would appreciate it.
Before you start,
okay.
For anyone that has a question, go ahead and write the question down or keep it with you, because we'll open up Q&A after the fact. So I don't want, as you're going through the presentation, someone may have a question.
The government meet with us. Our idea is that the reason why they came out with these outlandish requirements is because there were none of us seated at the table. And I mentioned the proverb, and it translates to, if your hand is inside of the pot, they don't eat and leave you out. But if your hand isn't inside, they can make all the decisions and you have absolutely nothing to say because you're not there seated at the decision-making table. And I said that until we are actually at the decision-making table, we're going to keep having these types of issues. So there was a request to meet with the government on February 3rd. But we came to find out that Rabbi Kohen and Bennett had already met with them separately without alerting us that such a meeting was happening. Now, we all came together to write this letter saying we want them to meet with us representatively. However, they went in, Erica Bennett went in, she called Rabbi Kohen, who drew at it front, we should all be there. But again, this meeting happened without us. And this is very relevant because if there's ever going to be a seat at the table, we've seen that the representation that we have has not been transparent, has not been accountable. So if the government is going to call on anyone, most likely they're going to go back and call on Erica Bennett and Rabbi Kohen, and they're going to say, okay, we already talked to the diaspora. So all we're taking off is DNA requirements. You still got to do your 25,000. And if they say that that's okay, and the deputy director of diaspora affairs said that his understanding coming out of that meeting is the other requirements were okay. The money was okay. Everything else was okay. But, you know, it was just the DNA. So they decided to remove the DNA. And I said, that's not what we discussed together. Those in the coalition, out of the coalition, that's not what we said. We even said things such there were so many other issues that we brought, and one of the things that we brought up is that we all collectively, representatively, whether that's AAAG, all the people out of the US, Ghana, Caribbean, Jamaica Affairs, all of these representatives who have constituencies should be there, and it shouldn't be a closed door meeting that we never find out what happens. And Brother Kivo, he asked to see the letter, and he was told by our great ambassador that she doesn't have to show the letter, that she's an ambassador. And this is what happens when you have someone who was not put there by you and who is not accountable to you and has been on that seat since 2001. So all of these, and we felt like, you know, what's going on? If we agree that we're all going to meet together, how come Ambassador Bennett, quote unquote, Ambassador Bennett and Kohen are the only ones who are going in? And that's a major problem. I'll continue. Now, there was an email that was sent to me, and I understand it also went out on WhatsApp. And on the 15th of February, because of these things that were going on behind our back, we said, we want to handle this internally. We don't want this to be blown up in the media or anything. In the spirit of good faith of addressing issues that we have with our elders, we want to talk. The grievances that we've had going back in some cases back to 2010 and even before that with Erica Bennett and Rabbi Kohen. We all just listed them out. And at the end of the meeting, we all went around and we said whether or not we have a vote of no confidence in their leadership. I'll go to the document that shows that vote of no leadership. But before going public or in the news or in the media about this vote of no confidence, we said we wanted to talk to them one-on-one. However, as you can well imagine, and this is a copy of the letter that was sent However, the one who I always credit, rightly so, for my citizenship, Dr. Hamid Maulana, he sent this out without the permission, without the knowledge of any of the other organizations. And when I called him, he told me he was moved by the Spirit.
Can I come in? So this is where there was a letter circulating and none of us really kind of knew about it. And I believe I was getting a lot of the arrows, a lot of the daggers thrown at me because people felt like I threw it out. And on the letter, it had AAAG as the leading organization. But in the end, it brought us to this point. So maybe the Spirit did lead them.
Can you repeat that? We did not hear what Nana Akosia said.
She said that she got a lot of the daggers from ended up becoming, what it was, right? Let me continue. But again, we wanted to deal with it internally in the spirit of good faith. And, we said that if we do not receive confirmation in time to convene this meeting, we will proceed with the next steps without the benefit of your input. But we honestly did want to, and AAAG was listed, Ghana, Caribbean, Dora, Rastafari Council, One Africa, Jamaica Affairs, Bibitumi Repatriate to Ghana, Ministry of the Future, Real Repatriation Consultant, Marcus Mosiah Garvey Foundation, some of the oldest and biggest organizations of diasporans in Ghana. AAAG is 35 this year. I don't want to leave that out because that's a major milestone. To war about these types of things. For us, we weren't trying to go to war. We just wanted to have a conversation. Lack of transparency and accountability, questionable representation without clear mandate, unpleasant interactions with leadership, and all of us, all of the organizations there had an opportunity on the 15th of February to explain, and some of us didn't even know things that happened to others until we sat down and said, oh, that happened to you too? Oh, wow, well, this is what happened to me. Oh, in 2010, I was shut down. Oh, and this year, this happened. So Ras Aswad, he asked a simple question. This is back in 2010, and that was my first time ever going to, so I repatriated in 2008. The first time that I went to a coalition meeting, Ras Aswad stood up and he asked a very simple and innocent question. And, basically part of the issue was that DAF and the coalition, and DAF, that's Erica Bennett's organization, are sometimes brought forth, said to represent the entire diaspora community, but without prior warning or sanction, they go to meetings, and after the fact, there are these types of issues that come out. So he read a statement from the Rastafari Council, one of the founding organizations of the coalition, and he said that Bennett overshadowed the constituency by speaking and representing without official consensus or mandate. He mentioned how he asked how DAF as a diplomatic entity relates to non-diplomatic organizations, and he reported a repudiating outburst. Why is this brother asking me this question? Who is this brother to ask me this question? I'm an ambassador, all of these types of things, and anytime you bring up any issue, it always is righteous indignation. How dare someone ask me a question? Bennett reportedly said, if you have any questions, you can come by my office. Ras Aswad said he tried repeatedly to do so. For my part, I also went into something, and I actually brought up the email as I was sitting there, withholding notice of key meetings. Some of you may be aware that there's something called the Diaspora Engagement Policy. Well, the very first time that there was supposed to be a meeting about the Diaspora Engagement Policy was October 2016. That's before we got citizenship, December 2016, where less than 24 hours before we were supposed to be at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we were told, and I got, I think it was a call from Brenda Joyce, last minute, and I showed up, I saw that Dr. Maulana was there, but it was maybe less than like 8, 9, less than 10 people who were there. And a man named Emmanuel Enos, I still have his business card, he walked up to Erica Bennett and said, "Where are your people? This place is supposed to be packed. Where are your people?" Because we, as the historic diaspora, were supposed to give input into the diaspora engagement policy. The first draft of the diaspora engagement policy, when we looked at it, there was not anything about the historic diasporans in there. It was about how to get in touch with your old boys association, how to remit money to your grandma in the village, how to vote even though you're abroad. It was everything about the recent diaspora, nothing about the historic diaspora except for 2 lines. One was that you can come to Panifest and Emancipation Day to get in touch with your roots. I still have the original copy of that. And, you know, we're sitting there like, how are you going to have this major policy that's supposed to be rolled out and the historic diaspora is not represented? And we only found out at the last minute. And I pulled up an email. It came from Renee Abbey on October 10th, 2016, and it was sent to Erica Bennett and CC to Afol Sylvia, Emmanuel Enos, from there at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But they were taking it like this is whatever ambassador that she's supposed to be. She's going to let the wider historic diaspora know about this so we can all have input, because maybe the input of the Ghana Caribbean Association may be slightly different from the input of Rastafari Council. It may be different from the input of AAAG. It may be different from the input of all these organizations. So we were supposed to be there, filled up like how this room is filled up, and we all give our input into there. But again, Emmanuel Eno said, "Where are your people?" And she had nothing to say. What I found out after is that that would be the pattern. Just like I mentioned, there was this meeting that took place without our knowledge, where she only called Rabbi Kohen. I found out that by looking at the email, Erica F. Bennett at yahoo.com, she sent the email only to Desta Megu, Dr. Desta, who she put on the citizenship list at the last minute after going into the interior and said, "I'm your ambassador, don't worry," locks the door and then comes out. So Desta Megu, Abdul Latif Bennett, who I would think would be her son, Princess Ghana, Rabbi Kohen, and Juliet Tuakli. That was her distribution to the historic diaspora. And it was only leaked less than 24 hours that I should roll down there. So again, closed door engagement and then reporting after the fact. Participants describe learning of meetings only after they occurred. And all of us mentioned cases where Erica Bennett is there, she'll tell Kohen, and those are the only people there. And the government says the diaspora has been duly informed. So whatever we want to do, we've already spoken to the diaspora, we've consulted with the diaspora, and we found out that the diaspora has no issues with what we're doing. And it becomes a marriage of convenience, because it's very easy for the government not to have to deal with AAAG, Ghana Caribbean, so forth and so on. And then when this happens and anyone mentions that this is a problem, we're told, quiet down. Don't you want unity? So there's a long tenure going from 2001 all the way up to 2026. This is on the scale of a Blaise Compaoré, 27 years in power. This is 25 years in power without the constituency putting that person there. And as you know, anyone who is supposed to represent you but was not put there by you, they're not accountable to you, and they never have to answer to you because they know that you can't remove them. There was another issue that I did research several times. There are PhD thesis databases. There's deep research, ChatGPT, Copilot, and so forth and so on. But I always have the question, and let me come back here, I'll remove this. And this is particularly relevant where it comes to potential misrepresentation, but I'm open to whether this is actually correct or not. But potential misrepresentation, because in this current dispensation, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission has been cracking down on people who use the title doctor. Yes.
There's several people in that able to take it.
Yeah, I just let them. That's what was blocking the screen. There have been people who are.
I'll take it over.
Yeah. There have been people who have been the heads of universities, people in government, all ministries, all of these types of things, who have been using the title doctor, but either they did get a doctorate, but it was from an unaccredited university, or they didn't have a doctorate at all. So this is, even just this morning, I ran, this one is through Copilot before I did deep research GPT. Me, myself, I went to Google, I went through PhD thesis databases, scouring for where Dr. Bennett got her doctorate from. What is the title of her doctorate thesis? For me, anyone searches my name, they can find my thesis, they can read a copy of my entire thesis. And for everyone in any position that I know of who has an academic doctorate, you can actually follow that up. But I've been unable for someone so prominent to find out where this person got her doctorate. So this is from Copilot. It said, it asked, does she have an earned doctorate? No university, no field, no dissertation, no academic record. The conclusion was no evidence. Does she use the title doctor? Yes, widely across all platforms, that was confirmed. Does she have an honorary doctorate? Yes, from American Bible University in 2023. And American Bible University is unaccredited, by the way. So an honorary doctorate from an unaccredited university is confirmed. Is the awarding institution accredited? No recognized accreditation, not academically accredited. Do AU or Ghana sources list the degree? No, no evidence. Do archive bios list education? No, no evidence. Do US verification systems show a degree? No, no evidence. From everybody who I've ever looked up their doctorate, including people who have applied for positions here at the Institute of African Studies, it was very easy to get all of that information, but I've not gotten that information. And I would entreat anyone who has that information to please let me know. I won't pause because otherwise I think we will not continue with the presentation. So again, the timeline of Erica Bennett's use of doctor and credential claims. She first started using it in 1999, interview related to inauguration of Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo. And it was titled as Dr. Erica Bennett, no degree was mentioned. That's the earliest confirmed use of doctor. It predates any known honorary doctorate. 2004, African woman, 2004, Abuja Accords coverage. Dr. Bennett was used, continued use of doctor with no academic background provided. 2007, founding of Diaspora African Forum. The title was Her Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Erica Bennett, no degree was mentioned. Ambassador Doctor becomes part of her formal public identity. 2007 to 2015, AU ECOSOC involvement, Ambassador Dr. Bennett. Multiple bios list achievements, but no educational history, no CV, any of those things. 2015 to 2020, media features, diaspora events, Dr. Erica Bennett, Diaspora Africa Forum. Post 2020, this is 2023, honorary doctorate from American Bible University, first and only documented doctorate honorary from an unaccredited institution. At present, public profile speeches, diplomatic events, she is styled as Her Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Erica Bennett. So I'm going to leave this open-ended. I will not say unequivocally she doesn't have a doctorate, but I would definitely love to read her PhD thesis. Erica Bennett dabbed meeting control and interactions, controlling meetings, shutting down participation. Dr. Maulana, who was at that meeting in seminar room 1 here at IIS, he described Bennett and Cohen on the high table, controlling what could be said. That's not on the agenda, keep quiet. Characterized as dictatorial. When can we have an election? When does your term end? Be quiet, that's not on the agenda. Lacking democratic process. Pushing a framing, members found insulting, problematic, where she discussed citizenship as clemency, which Dr. Maulana rejected as inappropriate framing. I remember that. Clemency is what you give to criminals. So she was saying, oh, you diasporans should get citizenship off of clemency. However, we're not criminals, and that should not be the basis for which we do that. I started off dealing with the 2016 citizenship process, adding names and expanding the list. After arriving for biometrics, she went into the office, 20-25 minutes. Additional names were added, including herself, her son, close associates, including Brenda Joyce, Brenda Powell, Dr. Desta, who did not even live in Ghana at the time. She flew in from Ethiopia for the ceremony. And at the ceremony, I remember her telling people, this sit here, you sit over there. She was directing what was supposed to be done. And people didn't know who she was because she wasn't based in Ghana. She's flying in from Ethiopia. Blocking additional applicants. Again, I mentioned the 50 some odd additional forms could proceed if Bennett greenlights it, but she said no, they were not vetted, while added names were also asserted as not vetted, including her son and these other people. Now, on the list of those of us who got citizenship in 2016, you'll see myself as the one who actually received all the forms in room 112 downstairs. You'll also see Rabbi Kohen, Nathania Halevi, Dr. Desta, Brenda Joyce, Brenda Powell, Nana Mahar, Alexander Cook, that's her son, ambassador. So we had the 28. Macy Howe was added on the basis of a letter that she sent. So there was 28. Macy Howell sent a letter directly to President Mahama. She was added as 29. And then the 5 that Erica Bennett added, those are how we got to the 34. Now, what I knew about this is that the way that Rabbi Kohen and others from the central region got their names on the list is because initially they were saying this isn't going to work. We had multiple meetings here at African Studies, and they were saying this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. But when it was very clear that we are going to get citizenship, Mama Amicus brought the forms of all of those in central region in a manila envelope, and she handed them to me along with a thick binder that documented all of the things that they had been doing from the 90s to try to get citizenship. And she said, this is a handing over, this is a passing of the torch. You all got a citizenship, you take it from here, right? Now, I know that he's in the central region, and I looked through all of the forms, and he was part of the original 28 because he submitted a form. That's how he got his name on the list. Now, the way Dr. Desta and all these others, they got on the list because of the hijacking that happened at the Ministry of Interior, but he got on the list because he actually filled out a form that Mama Amicus delivered to me, hand-delivered to me in room 112 downstairs. But later on in this meeting where I addressed the elephant in the room, he said no, he got citizenship because he had been working on this since the 90s. He did some things in 2012, he did things in 2013. And I scratched my head, I said, well, if that's the case, then why don't you just sit at home and wait for them to bring your citizenship to your doorstep? But rather, you filled out a form, and that's how you got citizenship. And it's a form that was designed by Dr. Hamed Maulana. And Ambassador Milley can also speak to some of these things in her personal capacity if she decides to do so. So Rabbi Kohen, we had questions about, one, the longstanding spokesperson. Way back to 2010, as long as I've known that the coalition has existed, I've known Rabbi Kohen to be in charge, and then seconded or perhaps firsted by Erica Bennett. So there's not a clear or well understood election term or process. All right, is the term 15 years? Same thing for Erica Bennett. When does your term end? If you're appointed by President Kufuor has stepped down. Every ambassador who we sent to Lebanon, to US, every other ambassador has stepped down. But this ambassador who we have has proven that those born and raised on the continent do not have a lockdown on being in office for life. Brother Keyboy Burton, right here from Ghana Caribbean, said decisions were made without him present, that there was not representation from Ghana Caribbean Association, even though that was brought forth. He does not know how members are elected or when terms end. This is a member of the coalition. He has known Kohen to have run this thing as long as he's been aware. Me, myself, as long as I've been aware that there is a coalition, I've known Rabbi Kohen to be in charge of it. Multiple speakers echoed wanting to see the coalition constitution and clarity on election, rotation, and terms. I'm still yet to see that constitution. Questionable representation beyond coalition membership. So non-membership organizations stated that they are treated as represented anyway without authorization. So even if you're not in the coalition, the government will say, we called the coalition, so we already got what the diaspora wants. Wow. I stated that Rabbi Kohen was among the 2016 cohort forms submitted via Mama Amicus. When I brought this up in a meeting, he said, I'm not going to let you talk. I'm not going to let you say that. I'm not going to let you talk. I'm the elder. And I can actually play a brief recording of that, if anybody wants to hear. But, you know, anytime these things are brought up, when's the end of your term? When does election happen? I'm not going to let you talk. So on the meeting on the 15th, Mama Imakus, One Africa, was in that meeting, and I just asked her a simple question. Did you receive the form from Rabbi Kohen, and did you hand it over to me? She said, yes. Yes, that is true. Anyone who wants to hear her voice say that, we can play that after. No problem. And that's presented as a counterpoint to his claims that in 2016, citizenship was solely due to the efforts of Brenda Joyce, efforts of Brenda Powell, everyone who was put on the list. He said that they did efforts way back whenever, and that's why they got their citizenship. This is actually the recording. Do we play the recording? So I'll play a sample of that recording, not too long. 90s, including some of the things that you just mentioned. And Mama Imakus, she also, when she submitted your form that was done by your form, that was your own form that was done by Dr. Hamid Maulana, that's the reason why you got your citizenship, is because she submitted your form.
That's why I won't let you continue. I will not let you continue.
Somebody's echoing. I don't know who's.
1990.
We need to take the echo off so people can.
There was an echo in the recording, which is why it took me a while to even say it out loud. So that was the echo that's in the recording. However, Rabbi Kohen was saying that he got it, but on things. But Erica Bennett has gone on record saying that she got it because of Dr. Maulana. So maybe we'll listen to a brief. Maybe they should have sat down and gotten that story straight. Well, let's listen to Erica Bennett.
And Dr. Malanta, who is one of our historians and who is doing incredible things here in Ghana, I'd like you to just to stand, because I really want people to know who you are. We got, 34 of us got our citizenship because of the initiative, his initiative, and him not letting people say no. And he kept it going, and we just want to applaud you. But we want to see other diasporians being able to do that as well. So I am so happy to be involved. Nadia, who I love and who's, Okay,
we'll continue. So you were there. Okay, she was there at that place. Yeah, and this is not AI generated, so she was there, right? So in terms of accountability, messaging, and interaction zones in the waiting room. Any
I was also there.
accusations, attacks. All right, you were also there, Brother Yazid. They're framed as undermining. Don't you want unity? Why do you want to say that I didn't get citizenship? Don't you want unity? I'm the elder here. Pipe down, these types of things. So Dr. Maulana described an incident as well where Kohen allegedly accused him of self-aggrandizement after Maulana returned with positive news from a northern engagement, refusing accountability, dismissing constituency preferences. I mentioned that I heard Rabbi Kohen say words to the effect, and actually I have that recording as well, where he was calling Erica Bennett on the phone. We were working on this document all together, those in the coalition, out of the coalition, in the spirit of we want to make sure our people get citizenship. So whatever our issues have been, this is a more important cause. We'll deal with that on the other side of dealing with this issue.
Make the distinction that this is February 15th of this year regarding.
Yes, 2026. So those of us who are here were in that meeting for part of the Black Agenda, and you're getting a sense of why the Black Agenda has seen that the coalition leadership has not been fulfilling any mandate that we put them there for, because indeed we didn't even put them there, but I'll come back to that.
I just want to come in.
Sure.
If Monica is here, stand up. Stand up. You remember you wrote a letter to me, and the letter was concerning some of your concerns you had about the criteria. I forwarded that letter to the Diaspora Coalition. So that became one of the reasons why we called for a meeting, because of that letter. Because I was saying many of our members feel that these are barriers that are preventing them from citizenship. And so what are we going to do about it? How we need to have a meeting. So I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So as we are composing this letter, and again, I have the recording of it, shout out to the one who shared it with me, where he called Erica Bennett. I brought up this, what I just said, and he said, I'm not going to let you talk. I'm not going to let you talk. Then he got on the phone with Erica Bennett and said, what I told them is that whether they like it or not, the government has credentialed DAF and they have to deal with DAF, whether they like it or not. And it was very puzzling to me that because the government has credentialed DAF, whether they represent us well, whatever they do, we just have to deal with it. Because I've seen, and I think some of us have also seen, that entire governments that don't represent the people have been called to account, most recently in Burkina Faso. So the government itself, if it's not representing the people, the government itself, much less someone who's been credentialed by the government and has been on seat for 25 years. So I thought that was very curious. Also, mixed messaging to government versus community, 2 stories. So I relayed a call from the Deputy Director of Diaspora Affairs saying that officials left that closed-door meeting where it was Erica Bennett and Cohane representing the coalition with the idea that everything was cool except for DNA, the fees, whatever else. He said that his understanding leaving that meeting was everything was cool except for the DNA. But later on, he was puzzled that he called me up out of the blue, and he doesn't normally call me up out of the blue. And he asked, what's my stance on the boycott? And I said, what boycott? He said, what's your stance that, I understand that Rabbi Cohane and the coalition are calling a boycott. What's my stance? And I said, none of my people could even apply because they say 5 years residence permit. By the time my people are even qualified, President Muhammad won't even be president anymore. My people don't have 25,000 CDs. I listed all the things that my people don't qualify. I said to say that we would boycott is a moot point because nobody would even qualify. So that's where he told me that there are 3 main requirements. They're looking at strong ties to Ghana, background check, and then they're also looking for if you have a 1-year residence permit, right? And then later on, I heard from immigration that even that they would consider the person if their ties are strong enough, even if they don't yet have a residence permit. So that is an entirely different thing from, again, one message is going to the government that all of that is cool. But then when we are part of privy to the conversation, it's like, what's going on?
And for those of you that are in AAAG that have started receiving communications, this would have been that time that I was very quiet. You got an email that said it was a boycott, and then all of a sudden for 3 or 4 days, you didn't get anything. And that's because we didn't have any update. We didn't have anything to say. And we were very disturbed that a meeting, we came to find out that a meeting was had. And then what was the result of that meeting? As of now, I'm still waiting for the result of that meeting. The meeting that we asked to be a part of so that I could communicate clearly to especially the AAAG members in terms of this is what we're doing. So I see some people had several emails and asking like, what's up, what's next? And we were not in a position to go forward because we didn't have nothing to say. We was even shocked by the fact that we requested a meeting of the government. I sent that email to you. The government responded, I'm out of town. We'll look at February 18th. And then after that, you really didn't hear nothing from me because that's when we found out the Diaspora Coalition had already met with the government. I'm sorry, not the Diaspora Coalition.
For the 60 of us online, can you summarize what Nana Akosia just said quickly? We can't hear her well.
No problem. So essentially that we were waiting to hear back about when this meeting with the government was going to happen, only to find out because I got a call from the deputy director that they had already met with Erica Bennett and Cohane. So it was a moot point for us to have asked for a meeting because they already met and it was a foregone conclusion that everything was fine except for DNA. So this is actually the recording about like it or not, lack of accountability and impunity. That has happened for all of the organizations who are now part of the Black Agenda.
Talking points when people are asking, what are we doing or what's next?
Just really quick before we do that, that letter is supposed to be the cover letter for this resolution. Are we still leaving it as draft resolution or is this now the resolution, the 2 pages?
I don't think it should say draft going to them. That's
true.
Mhm.
Oh.
So resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbi, did you hear the question?
I heard it. I don't have an answer, so I didn't say.
Rabbi Cohen's on mute.
He was asking if Rabbi Cohen.
What I say, whether they like it or not,
Whether they like it or not, they got to deal with that.
Seems fine.
No, he was saying that whether like it or not, that the government is dealing with DAF. So I don't know if you knew that I heard him, but I heard him. He said, whether we like it or not, we got to deal with DAF. We continue. So Rabbi Kohen,
You should make a point that he thought he was on mute.
he thought he was on mute. He was on the phone with Erica Bennett, but Brian, his understudy, came off mute, and we heard what he said to Erica Bennett. I told them that whether they like it or not, they got to deal with that. That's after I brought up all of this elephant in the room stuff, and he shut me down. He said, I'm the elder, you can't talk, blah, 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 blah. Then he called Erica Bennett to report, oh, the natives are restless, or whatever he said. So members stated that they had sent a good faith letter, and this is the Black agenda. We sent a good faith letter to them only, right? Seeking to discuss concerns internally. Kohen reportedly declined, saying he doesn't have to meet with anyone but coalition members. Now, where the government is concerned, if they hear from Kohen, they've heard from everybody, but for him, he only has to report to coalition members. However, it was AAAG, Rastafari Council, Ghana Caribbean, all of them are part of the coalition, but he's not responding to the call from them because of whatever reason. So the joint pattern from both Bennett and Kohen are what all of the members who were there on the 15th described. Closed door engagement with government, then reported after the fact, sometimes because the government official calls us, and that's how we found out that there's a meeting. Clickers leadership, gatekeeping, that was from Real Repatriation Consultation. Brother Yazid, represented beyond coalition membership, non-members treated as represented without authorization, undermining broader unity work, of saying, yes, we're all going to meet with the government, and then they go meet with the government, and then we find out because the government official tells us that. Claiming credit for outcomes, that's happened in terms of the 2016 citizenship. We got it because we did stuff in the 90s and in 2012, 2013. No, you got it because you filled a form. And she got it because she said, let me lead your delegation. I know how every single person on that list, name by name, how they got their citizenship, because it was room 112 that every single form came through. Sidelining others. And part of the meeting that we had on the 1st of February, we were already planning on doing a meeting about what citizenship means to me for Black History Month. It was just that Friday ahead of time that these citizenship requirements were rolled out that we said we need to pivot, and yeah, still going to deal with citizenship, but we need to address this thing that has come out from the government. But in addressing these outlandish requirements, what it actually did is it exposed all of these things that have been going on for decades, literally. Sidelining others, controlling access to information and letters, accountability arguments stated in meetings are not accountable to us because we did not put them in those positions. And for me, my issue isn't so much with them as individuals. My issue is with any structure that allows someone to be there 25 years and not be accountable to anyone. As I mentioned, Brother Keyboy said, can we see the letter that you used to meet with the government? And she says, I don't have to show you a letter. I'm the ambassador. Is there a direct quote that you want to say?
Hold on.
Hold on.
All right, so I answered for the letter. They promised that they will show
Keyboy, can you speak up louder, please?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Bring him closer. Thank you. Thank you.
I've brought him. Can you hear me now?
That's better.
All right. Yeah, so what happened is that I asked her for the letter. They said they promised that they promised that they would show me the letter. But I asked why she didn't share that she wrote a letter to the government, and she said she didn't feel she had to. Yeah, that is the correct thing.
Do we have a recording of that one?
I don't know.
Yes, that's one of the recordings that you said.
In the coalition.
Yeah. Yes. So anyone who wants any recordings, I don't know what our policy is on sharing recordings. I'm fine with making it unlisted and putting it online, so anyone can verify anything that's being said. So again,
Can I say one thing? Because some of us online have heard your statements, Ɔbenfo, but we don't want to just make statements without being very thorough about what is being said. Because these are people who have been in these positions, and we want everybody to be very clear on what has occurred with evidence. We want to make sure this is understood as factual information and not just statements or accusations. So I'm just responding to some of the things that have been said online, that, people have said points have been taken, they heard us. What's the next step of what we're discussing? But we need to be, we're doing this because we want to make sure everybody's clear and thorough, and that we're thorough on what we're stating actually happened before we move on to anything else. So I hope that's clear for everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate whoever it is bringing that up online, and I wanted to address it here in the room as well, because I also want to acknowledge that while a number of Ghanaians are happy that we are here, not everyone is happy that we're here. For some people, we are the immigrants who are destroying the country, right? And it could be very easy for external people, or for internally, people say, there's just division. Oh, why is this happening? Or it be spun from a media or PR perspective that, oh, you're attacking elders, and not make it based on the facts of what's happened and the reality that there are leaders of various organizations that want to make sure that you, the diaspora, have a voice and have a representation, because there are public policies that are influencing your everyday life that are not going to be you coming to a meeting, but through these leaders who are doing these things, this is how you get represented. And so we want to make sure that the people, you, me, us, are all aware of what has happened, because the best way forward is to make sure everybody is informed, so that media spin can't turn this into something that it's not. So thank you for bringing that up.
So the point that I was, yes.
I don't want to interrupt. However, Tamika Atuga, can I ask that those people that are online, when they are speaking, can they say their name or something prior to starting, so that we know who is talking? We can see all of you here.
Right.
We don't know who's addressing us online.
That was just Kala Kambon, my wife, who was speaking.
Okay.
Thank you. But thank you, Tamika. That is very much noted. I was responding to somebody who did type something in the chat. So I was just trying to make a general statement so everybody's clear on that point, because I think that is something that should be shared with everybody. But I'll definitely, any questions in the chat, the person's name will be announced. Thank you, Tamika.
And I think she was responding as Kala Kambon, member of the Black Agenda, not so much Kala Kambon, wife of Ɔbenfo.
So I think
yes, thank you very much, Nataki Kambon.
We talked about how did we arrive at the Black Agenda, right, and what is our mission.
So let me wrap up this section, because I'm basically at the end of the PowerPoint. But essentially, the point that's being driven at is that it's not about individuals. Yes. The issue is that if even my sister, my mother, if anyone has been in one position for 25 years and you didn't put them there, and there's nothing you can do to take them out of there, and anytime the government wants to say anything, they only talk to you, it's very, very easy, even with the best of intentions, for that person for it to go through their head, if nothing else. So the issue is structural, that whatever system, whether it's called coalition, whether it's called DAP, whatever system allows for a person to be there for 15 years, for 20 years, and not be accountable to the constituency that they're supposed to represent, that's a problem. So what we're arguing for is representation from all of the member organizations. Imagine a government meeting where Ghana Caribbean is seated at the table, or a nominee from Ghana Caribbean. AAAG is there, Rastafari Council is there, DOOR is there, Repatriation to Ghana is there, Rural Repatriation Consultant is there. All of the diaspora organizations, and these are not small organizations, all of them have a seat at the table. So when they come up with the idea, you know what? DNA, 5-year resident, we can actually be there and say, this isn't going to work for our people, right? I'll continue. So the letter that was sent had, the vote of no confidence, rather, was all these various organizations represented, as well as individuals. And that was sent in the letter to both Erica Bennett and Rabbi Kohen, saying, following the vote of no confidence in the current leadership held Sunday, 15 February 2026, we request this meeting, 2:30 or 9:30. We request confirmation in writing, so forth and so on. We included even the Zoom link, but it was never responded to by Erica Bennett, and it was declined by Rabbi Kohen. And that puts us in the position where we are now, where we wanted to deal with it internally. However, we did not get that opportunity. So as we said, we would have to move forward without their input. So this is a perfect transition to move forward and what that means for the Black agenda, because all of these diaspora organizations have seen that we are not being represented, that there isn't accountability. There's no constituency-based mandate where we put the people there. There's no term limit where we can take them out if they're not doing the right thing. So this takes us to the Black agenda.
Please, may I ask how many people are online?
There are 56 people online right now.
And we thought it was important that we have this meeting before the upcoming citizenship ceremony. So we realized that we put out a notice with only maybe a 3 or 4 day window, but we felt it was necessary to have the meeting before the citizenship ceremony, where it's usually what do you call it? Pomp and circumstance. Like you get there and then there's this whole show, and then people don't really know what's going behind the scenes. And then those of you that are on the AAAG platform, this is all occurring between general body meetings, meaning our last meeting was the 3rd of February, the 3rd Sunday of February, and now our next meeting won't be until the 3rd Sunday of March. So all of these things are happening in between that. And so we wanted to have an opportunity where we come out and again address that elephant in the room. But one of the examples that I wanted to give you with regard to citizenship or why this is so important is I had an opportunity, as I was asked by one of the government officials, my opinion on the residency requirement. So I had to explain. And before I say that, this is why it's important for us to have a seat at the table. The question that I was asked is, do I think the 2-year residency requirement is a barrier? And I said, yes. And I said, because the average American or the average one of our members are not able to sit in Ghana for 2 years because many of the jobs that that person can do are against the law. According to Ghana's law, they can't do. My son, who's 35 years old, cannot drive Uber. He cannot be a barber. He cannot open up a cell phone shop. All of these things are reserved for all of these employment opportunities are reserved for the indigenous community. So unless you are an entrepreneur of some sort in an industry that the government approved, it would be difficult for you to come and sit down in Ghana for 2 years without an income and then be able to live here. So that's just an example of me sharing with them, and they said they didn't know. So I said, no, unless you're a pensioner, which means someone that collects Social Security, or you get a veteran's check or something like that, the average person cannot come to Ghana, stay here for 2 years uninterrupted, and then make an income here that would allow them to meet that residency requirement. And so this is an example of why we need a voice at the table to be able to explain all of the nuances and the concerns that we would have with regard to meeting that citizenship criteria. I'll turn it back over to you.
I'm sorry, if I could do a brief intro. So we want to thank all of the organizations. Just want to take a short break. Want to thank all the organizations. They all brought water to make sure we are hydrated. It is African and it is hot. But we also want to thank individuals who stepped up at the last minute. We realized it's dinner time, and so people were getting lightheaded in the back. So we want to make sure that people have some hydration and food and just acknowledge what's here. So please do eat, drink, and stay hydrated.
Hi, so we have facilities available if you want to refresh yourself. We have a lot of
flavors. So we have oil magic, we have lobster, strawberry in there. We have the mango nana, different flavors. So you can come check it out. It's all natural, no artificial, don't add any sugar to it. And it's also on the dairy, so yeah.
No dairy, no sugar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As a smoothie lover, I get to give it delicious. And what's the name of the?
Really quick, it's Slurpees. I met this young lady at the Black History Month Summit that took place at the WEB Du Bois. And it's one thing for young people to establish businesses. It's another thing for us to show them that this is important by supporting their businesses. So thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Yes, we also into millets products. We produce kinky, that's our local delicacies. And then we have our millet vegetables and anything that comes with millet. Yes, mashed kinky, everything about millet. So it's outside, you can also step in and just have a bite and have a feel and know how it is. Thank you.
Absolutely. And some people, millet is not familiar, but definitely, I think one of the things that came out of the last town hall meeting is when we come, we can do the things that we're familiar with, but we also should be learning things about the culture, tasting the different food, and experiencing new things. So I'm so excited. I actually was an MC at a competition that Mary was in for the Healing Pot Cook-Off. And you placed in the Healing Pot Cook-Off? She placed second place in that Healing Pot Cook-Off was held at the Kwame Nkrumah Museum last year. So we have very talented young people here, and it's not even just supporting them, we're just getting great food, great drinks. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it back over to the program.
We thank you for that. Again, make sure that you support. I believe the Slurpees are 30 CDs, and I know that it's worth it. Over to you, Brother Baswad, with regard to how you feel about the Black agenda and why we are here at this point and the way forward.
Yes, I would like to say that I came on board with the Black agenda because of the fact that I recognize for years that the political will wasn't there within the coalition in terms of being able to address the needs of the social and political welfare of our constituents.
Here, so the people online can hear you. Sorry.
We are a very large constituency. I'm not talking about community. A lot of times we say the diaspora community. But we are much bigger than the diaspora community. We have a constituency all over the nation. And it is time for us to now start reaching out to the constituency in terms of being able to deal with social and political welfare of that large constituency. We have done several diaspora citizenship programs in order to get citizenship for our people coming home. We have to move to the next level. We have to move to the next level where the parliament takes it up the issues taken up in parliament and a legislative instrument is passed so that what comes along with it is education for the nation so that the nation will understand who we are, especially when children are concerned. So it means that we go into parliament, into schools for the education process from primary to the university level. Because a lot of Ghanaians do not really know why we are coming here. Some of them are even confused. You could leave America and come to Ghana. Why would you leave America and come to Ghana? And we try to get out to go to America, a better place. They don't fully understand the issue. We have all these 46 or 47 dungeons in Ghana. And I'm not sure if there's a consistent, well-organized program for children of Ghana to understand why these dungeons are there. These are some of the issues that the Black agenda will be taking on, where the historical realities, the political realities, the social realities, because now a lot of us are citizens. We are not just people who try to come home to get citizenship. So we have to be like citizens. We have to use the mandate that the Constitution has given us to ensure that we play our role as Ghanaians. So there's no longer like a fan club or a tea party or whatever the case you want to call it. We have to go beyond that level. So this is what the Black Agenda movement is about now, is to ensure that the social, economic, and political welfare of our constituency, not just communities, because we have several communities all over. We have other races are here, the Lebanese, the Chinese, and they're doing that same thing in terms of ensuring that their rights and their welfare is taken care of. So that's why we are here as the Black Agenda. Give thanks.
Switch seats. Whatever we need to do for our people to hear the message. A lot of people don't know that one of the things that happened in 2024 was that there was a huge division between the African American community and the Caribbean community. And so Kavoy and I met, and we agreed that we won't allow this to happen again. And so no matter what happens, this citizenship process, we were plugging in what's going on your end, what's going on your end. And I felt that we got a lot of information late. That's all I will say. The information was not coming. And the little information we had, we're the ones pushing and asking the questions. Hello, is there any update on the citizenship? And it could very well be the way the government kind of moved that, unfortunately, information sometimes is not forthcoming as quick as we would like for it to be. But part of this is to make sure that where I live in Springfield, Massachusetts, Hartford, Connecticut area, if you know the history, Hartford, Connecticut is one of the earlier spaces in America where people from Jamaica and Caribbean people started to settle in America. We have the West Indian Social Club there, and the West Indian Social Club is one of the oldest recognized official Caribbean institutions in the United States. So all of my friends, my aunties, my grandmothers, they're all from the Caribbean. It's only coming to Ghana, it feels like we're separated. So I'm committed, and I want to make sure that our communities are not separated. And whatever the problem is for the Ghana Caribbean Association, is also a problem for AAAJ. Whatever our problem is also a problem for you. That's what that Black Agenda is about, and we're moving forward with or without our elders. And we want our elders to be with us. But for right now, there's a paradigm shift taking place. There are questions about citizenship, there are barriers put in place, and we need answers to those questions. And definitely we need a seat at the table to help our fellow Ghanaians understand this ma'afa, the history. And just because you lobbied in 2003, it's a whole new class of people in 2026. We have to stay telling our story, and we have to stay teaching about how we got to where we are and why we're here. And sometimes, even in my separate organizations, my fellow Ghanaians that are migrants to America will often compare and say, well, when I went to America, it cost me $2,000 or $3,000 to get citizenship, so I think it's okay. This is what they say. And I love them, and I know that that's out of a lack of historical knowledge that those comments are coming. So we have to stay teaching on this front. Otherwise, people will feel like, what are we crying about? 25,000 CDs is okay. So I'll hand it over to you that we're moving, this is one band, one sound, moving forward.
Greetings, everybody. Good evening. My name is Kevin again.
and I'm representing the Ghana Caribbean Association. And I can tell you that I became a part of this movement because of underrepresentation. It's not something that I like fairness. Seeing? And because I like fairness, I have to be candid with everyone here today. Seeing? Respect is due 100% to everyone who's online. But I feel like, and pardon me for saying, but the presentation that we just had, it wasn't objective enough. It felt like, so respect is due, everybody saying it, but I have to, I feel some type of way sometimes easily, but it felt like we're invoking emotion easily, and just on one side of the thing, and it wasn't like an objective thing about what we are doing next. Easily, how we will do it, how we will approach the thing, how we will make it better. Easily, it's just something that I wasn't a part of. I don't know what that is. And Sir Kambon, I respect him 100%. And I could say no, I respect her 100%. But I felt like it was an opportunity to be objective about pushing forward and doing something different. But we could have do that without singling out two people and say, oh, we do this. Am I disrupted with the coalition's actions? Of course. And I made that known to the coalition as well. Where I feel like my community, the Caribbean community, is neglected. And we need some attention. And it's not that we're praying for attention, but we are ready to do what we need to do. So for me, it will come together. Because I don't want to fragment the community anymore. The community mash up already. You understand? So I feel like said, all of the strength we have a man such as Kambon here have no strength. We have to use the strength in the team. And I feel like, and it's just a spirit, where the jumping on the same boat.
Yes, I have moved the microwave smoke.
Sorry.
People are not getting.
But I feel like we're fragmented as a community, and we have enough potential, but we have to harness the team and put the team together and make it big. I must figure out steps to do that, because what happened before, we cannot do nothing about that. The only thing we can do now is go forward. And figure out a way to do that. That is why, or what, I'm more than respect. But that is what I am here to do. As it relates to the coalition, my members will decide if I remain or not. I made my position clear where that is concerned with my members. And I have to move with what they vote, but I will forever be affiliated with Black Agenda because I like it, or the objective was or is but it's part of the people, and it makes me feel funny, It makes me feel funny. So,
Yes, sir.
So let me say just something briefly, on that point. So as mentioned, there were several, issues, the elephant in the room, as we've been calling it, that have been longstanding for well over a decade in some cases, that have never been brought forth because, again, we don't want to seem fragmented, we don't want to see disunited. But in the presentation, every single thing is documented. The emails are there, the recordings of what was said, when it was said, who the email was sent to, all of those things are documented. So there's a difference between, being passionate about a topic and then being emotional and perhaps not even dealing with. Everything that was dealt with is factual. And again, anyone who is interested in the recordings, I'm fine with sharing those recordings, because maybe it's like, oh, I just heard that single snippet. That's not the whole context. Maybe I want to hear the whole context. So if that's what needs to be done, I'm personally fine with that because, again, I'm a researcher here at this specific Institute of African Studies. We had the Gandhi Must Fall movement. That was a passionate movement, but everything that was mentioned was a quote from Gandhi and the things that he did. So just because something is passionate does not mean that it is wrong per se, right? And again, every single thing that was mentioned are facts. People can verify those facts. And I actually am asking everyone to go and verify. For example, I want to know the doctorate. I want to know this information, if anybody has that information. But for me, what I closed on is that for me, it's bigger than two individuals. Because if you take those two individuals out and you put two other individuals in, but you keep that structure the same, we're going to have the exact same thing happen. If one person can go and meet with the government, turn around and then doesn't have to even show us the letter, this exact same thing can happen. So for me, I'm not even in terms of the way forward, as Brother Keyboard has said, in terms of the way forward isn't just to say, oh, those two people are bad or whatever. That's not even the point. The point is structurally moving forward, any meeting with the government, one should have permanent representation from the historic diaspora. And then two, that representation should be actually representative of the constituency that is supposed to be represented. Otherwise, the government is going to come out and they're going to say, you have to have DNA, you're going to have 5-year residence permit, you're going to have, and they think it's fine because we're not seated at the table to say, this is going to be a hardship for my people. This is going to be a hurdle for my people. This is going to be a block for my people. So I just want if nothing else, what I would like, maybe the passion of it is some way or makes people feel some way, but I would just like for people to just think deeply about what it is that we're saying and look at the facts of the matter. And if the facts are wrong, if anything is incorrect or if it's a lie or anything else, that is why we're here in a place of scholarship, because things that are put forth can be challenged. And again, if there's anything that's incorrect, everything that I put in that presentation, I know to be factual, 100% correct, and I will stand behind it with my professorship, doctorate, anything else. I will stand behind every single thing that I said because these are the facts. And we've been sitting on the facts for a decade in the spirit of unity. But again, the people of Burkina Faso, they were sitting on their issue of Blaise Compaoré for 27 some odd years. But at a certain point, they have to say, even if it looks like we're not disunited, our leader is not, or the leader that was put there was not serving our interests, so they had to rise up. By the same token, we need to rise up if we feel like those who are in the leadership are not serving our interests. So I just wanted to say that.
I want to open questions because we have some questions from the floor. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and the sister, I forgot your name, had her hand up as well.
So it's you, Brother Rajwa, the number.
Okay, so I was going to, so in addition to citizenship, there are people online who are based in Ghana. Obviously, those of you who are sitting here are at least in Ghana for right now. And we did, as we talk about the way forward, want to acknowledge that citizenship is just one of many topics that impact the historic diasporan community. So just because it is the end of February and the beginning of March, we did want to go through some of the news that impacts the historic diaspora, because some of you may or may not be aware of things that are happening in your local communities in all of the various regions. So just wanted to touch on a couple of things. And I wanted to acknowledge that so many people come, and it's very easy to only know the people you know, or only know the information you know, or not watch the news because maybe the best news is in Chi or all these things. So we just do need to know and recognize that we do need to plug into what's happening locally, because things and decisions are being made. And even though the Black Agenda is here to bring information, you also have to do your own information checking on the things happening around you. So just wanted to acknowledge that on February 24th, just this week, President Mahama did his State of the Nation address. Those who have not watched it, if you are interested in Ghana, I do encourage you to go watch the State of the Nation address. It is online. A lot of what he talked about was related to inflation and jobs for native-born Ghanaians. He did touch on things that we're looking forward to hearing more of around land reform and voting rights, but there's language. But so far, these things have been echoed in many presidential addresses, but we've not yet seen policies around them. And these are things that we're hoping that groups, organizations, and individuals can help change. A shift from discussions and rhetoric to more policies around that and civic engagement. The Diaspora Affairs Director, known as KOD, had circulated a statement that went around talking about whether, or his endorsement of dual citizens holding public office. That's been a contentious topic. Leaders have remarked that even though he endorsed dual citizens having the ability to obtain public offices, it's not quite clear which dual citizens he's speaking of, because there are dual citizens who have Ghanaian parents or who are from Ghana, and there has been a division about whether we would be included as historic diasporans as dual citizens who would be eligible to obtain public office. You may have noticed that your tomatoes in recent weeks have been the price of rubies. There was, unfortunately and tragically, there were 9 travelers who were traveling to Burkina Faso who were brutally murdered. And that sparked tensions where people were not traveling to Burkina Faso. Tomatoes are a seasonal crop, and so people cross the border to get those tomatoes and bring them over. And because of fears, it skyrocketed the tomato inventory in Ghana. But just this week, there were sellers who were able to safely go and bring tomatoes to Ghana. So we are hoping the prices come back to tomato prices and not prices of rubies. The last couple of pieces of news that I wanted to share is that just this week, Pan-African Television hosted an event called the Day of Shame. And Pan-African TV founder, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the name, Kwesi Pratt Jr., sorry. I know his name well, it just escaped me momentarily. Kwesi Pratt Jr. Chaired the event. It was very well attended, and it's the Day of Shame, revisiting imperialism, sovereignty, and unfinished political questions about when Nana Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown and what has happened since then. This is the 60-year anniversary since that happened, and Pan-African Television is doing its job by making sure that we understand the history. Also, talks about cannabis policy came up when a story was released about a cannabis truck that was seized with there was apparently a $150,000 bribe for trying to bring cannabis in, and this is the kind that is that you could get high from, and
the high grade,
right,
the high grade.
right, as opposed to the one that could be used for textiles and different things. One of the things that we want to continue to echo is that cannabis can be grown in Ghana, and it can be a huge cash crop and a game changer for Ghana. So while some are debating the legitimacy of the medicinal versus the textile, we want to make sure that that Ghana policymakers don't interrupt what could be a multi-million-dollar industry, a job creator for the textile side, because people are debating about the other side. But that did make headline news. And the last 2 stories I'll share is that a politician made started an advocacy campaign urging Northern and Volta communities to stop consuming dogs and cats. It ironically drew backlash from everyone.
traditional leaders challenged it. Vegans and vegetarians said it was very selective to just pick cats and dogs. And other communities said, why are you going against tradition? So I'm not sure who he was trying to get on his side, but it seems like no one was for this advocacy campaign. And finally, this week, to close out Black History Month, the African American Association of Ghana and Asase Radio did a Black History Month dialogue on Friday, the 27th. It was incredibly well attended. Notable persons like Nana Samia Nkrumah and others visited the Du Bois Center. National government officials and others came. There were dialogues, vendors, and a show that Ghanaian communities and historic diasporan communities can come together and celebrate history and culture all at the same time. So those are my stories, just to keep you plugged in. There's of course a lot more that happened.
The only thing I'm asking, the airport has a new name?
Yes. I had like 5 things on my list. Well, no, I had 5 pages and I just distilled it down to this one. But yes, but we did have some criticism from one person who well,
this is the debate. We just want to inform people to make sure.
Yes, the airport did get a new name. Absolutely, absolutely.
It reverted to its old name, according to the government, Accra International Airport.
Accra International Airport. Well, what's the airport code? Do we know?
ACC. It was already ACC and it's still staying ACC.
It's still ACC?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I believe Brother Roswell has something to say. This is not about the high grade, right?
No. Yes, I just want to address my brother's concern. My brother here, Kevin. There was in political science called dialectics. It's like carbon.
Please, so people online can hear you.
Yes, there are things in political science called dialectics, which is like cause and effect. What is happening right now, why we have this audience and why certain things are being revealed from Dr. Kambon is because of a cause and effect. It is beyond our control. So it is not personal in terms of the 2 individuals. It just so happens that because of leadership position, why the names of these individuals have to come up with. But as Dr. Kambon said, we are dealing with a structural issue. We're trying to put structure in our constituency. We're trying to put structure in our communities, right? And the focus for the Diaspora Coalition wasn't on that aspect of it. Now we have a different generation of leadership. We have a different quality of leadership. We have a leadership who have a certain level of political, cultural, and social understanding. So obviously, the issue has to go on another level. So now my brother take it too personal, just like Dr. Kambon said, it may sound like I am passionate, right? Don't look at it like that. And we all have to come to the understanding. Just like I said, when you have dialectics, this is what happened. The truth, the reality, at the moment will supersede whatever is there because of the reality and the moment and time. It's a science. So we are really fulfilling science right now because we didn't just get up and say, oh, we're going to come and do this. The reality is what demanded us to be here today and having you as an audience discussing these things. So it is way beyond the personalities. Rabbi Point is my brethren, just like I said to people all the while. In the coalition, I've never had a personal problem like that. Some of the things that Dr. Kambon has mentioned, and he said it very clear, and we listened to some of it, that there are evidence to some of these things. So it's not like allegations. And what this is going to do right now, when I say dialectics, it's going to force the coalition or the leadership of the coalition and Erica Bennett to meet just like we are meeting right now. It's going to force that to happen. And it's science, right? So We are looking forward to the day that we can sit in a meeting like this with Dr. Erica Bennett, Rabbi Cohen, and other members of the coalition and dialogue over the issue, because we cannot go to the government in factions. It is going to be counterproductive to go to the government in factions. We have fundamental issues that we all share, common fundamental social, economic, and political issues that we need to let the nation recognize that we are on course with these things, and it must be in a unified position. So that's what I'd like to say right now, basically. And it'll take a while for some of us to understand this on that level, but that is the reality. Give thanks.
I need to go and sit there. Yeah. Okay.
There's an important question out here. And we just have to clarify, it'll be part of your speech. They're asking if the coalition is preventing us from joining. That was a question. So I think there's clarity that we need to bring.
We also have some questions online too.
Yeah, Ross Oswald. See, I just want to address you. I don't doubt. I don't know what is being said. I'm just saying the outpouring of the evidence it wasn't objectivity. You understand? So, well, to me, it's like, all right, yeah, we're not happy with the leadership, and we want the Black agenda. No, the Black agenda has to do, what we have to do is look at how we can objectively change what we're trying to change. See, we can just get up and we have Erica Bennett's email, and we have recordings of this, and we have recordings of that. You know, we'll point out the one-man people, and that is not the issue. As you said, as you rightfully say, this is bigger than two individuals. See, but if you're going to figure a way forward, I don't think a character takedown is the best way forward. I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician at all. So I don't know the political terms and, you know, the political tactics and all that thing. But me, I feel like, say, you know, it should have been more, you know. Go ahead.
All right. So I've heard everything, and respect to Professor Kambon for what you've done. Yeah, because facts is crucial. There's a lot of us. I can't speak for everyone, but me, partner, we're very confused. Yeah, from the last Kambon meeting to this one, a lot has changed, gone backwards and forwards. So you have shown us clarity with the evidence. We needed the evidence. I don't see it as an assassination on someone. You're just giving us the facts so we can go away and make an informed decision. We've got to vote on certain things, like whether we stay with the coalition or whether we move forward. We need facts to make that decision. I respect what you're saying, Kevin, as well. And once we get the facts, we can make those decisions on our way forward. I think we're at a point now where we're trying to make our way forward. And we're going to get to that. But we need to, because a lot of people don't know the backstory. I don't even know the backstory.
What is the backstory?
With the coalition and other organizations. So it's helping to clear up some of these situations. My humble suggestion, I'm not a head of any organization, but in my humble suggestion, we need to have one voice. You said that we're fragmented, and I still think we won't get very far going to the government discussions. We need, even if we move forward with the Black agenda, we need to have one voice even in there, and we need to have us vote on who that one voice be, who is the most qualified to go up against the Ghana government. In this country, they recognize chiefs. There's not more than one chief. There's not more than one leader. There's a chief of the village and he is the head. You get what I'm saying? He has the final say. So my humble opinion, there needs to be, if there is a black agenda, there needs to, well, there is a black agenda, it's happening. It's happening. And we're here. All right, cool, we're here. Because of what they done. And you can call it a betrayal. I see it as a betrayal. And I knew that even before you mentioned this. Yeah, they went behind our back. That's a betrayal. Let's say it what it is. Yeah. Let's be straight. Let's get to the point. Betrayed us, and that's what it is. Yeah? I'm just going to say, as if they betrayed us, here we are. So what we need to do now, the way forward, one voice, yeah? One chief that speaks for the black agenda, and we need the heads of the organization need to work that out and then give us the vote. Cowboy leads the GCA well in the sense of he put it to a vote within what we're doing. That's what needs to be, in my humble opinion. I'm not one, so I'm just saying, in my humble opinion, that's what needs.
Let me speak to that, because I think we're missing, I make a clear understanding before you speak to it. Brother, we're not working against the government. The word that you use, against the government. No, we're a family. You use the word against, so I just wanted to make a correction. Yeah, you said that word, so I wanted to point it out. We need to be clear that we're a family here. We live here now. So if there's something our brothers and our sisters don't understand, then it's up for us to bring understanding, and the author will also bring it to us. So that's my only concern.
Thank you. I was going to say that as well. And in the spirit, I want to clarify because this program had two parts. The part in which, and can people online hear me? Am I good? The part in which we talked about what happened and the need, and now we're talking about what's happening moving forward. So the Black agenda, as of right now, is writing a letter to the government on our own behalf to have a meeting to talk about how we have a seat at the table. So as it's been revealed to me, I didn't realize that people from the Caribbean, and which is not all one conglomerate, right? People from different places within the Caribbean have different challenges in Ghana. And that voice has not, for the most part, been echoed in a lot of the public policy. The United States is seen as the diaspora, but I was just speaking with someone earlier today, a sister from the UK was talking about some of the challenges that UK residents have, people from different places. So if we're talking about what's the way forward, people are asking, well, what's next? What's next is to ask about the meeting. The person who will be the voice will come out, and that doesn't have to come out today in this meeting, but we recognize that what the shift that is happening is we are recognizing that the historic diaspora is not this conglomerate of just one thing.
It's monolithic.
It's not monolithic. Is that the right word, historian? Okay. Right?
Can I say something that,
Yes.
I think Dr. Kambon has spoke to this before about a historical basis that is not one voice or one seat that we are looking for. I think the Rastafarian community, the Jamaican community have their own representative, as well as the African American. So I think it would be a collective, not just a one voice, one seat. And I think that is something we have been discussing within the Black Agenda group, that we are seeking not just one chair, because even currently now with Dr. Bennett and Rabbi Cohen, it's not one person, it's two people. But I think it should be more reflective of the rainbow of the African diaspora. You know, even some of the African diaspora from Suriname, you know, and they are also getting a position in the country too. So we also have to be reflective of the entirety.
Please wait 1 second. I also want to point out that it's also, we recognize that the population is not also about geography. The needs of young people who come and they want to go to college or they want to go to high school. What do they do if they didn't take the WASE exam? All these kinds of things are different than the needs of people who are pensioners. That are different than the needs of just age is a factor. Health issues are a factor. There are a number of things that don't just boil down to geography. And so when we talk about having a seat at the table, the collective needs to be able to report about different elements of the constituency, and then also be able to inform government about the different parts of the constituency so that people are taken into account. And that's why this collective is moving as one body. The only other thing I wanted to say to that is, as we're moving forward, we definitely wanted to make sure that people recognize a point that we made in a previous meeting, which is, if you are a historic diasporan, whether you are in Ghana or whether you have not come to Ghana, it is important that you join organizations. There are organizations that are here that are part of the Black agenda, but you cannot be siloed in any country, but especially in a country that is not yours, and have access to the information and resources that you need in the country. And so we will go back through, and we had a couple more questions, but I cannot stress enough that this is not just about, okay, I got my passport and now I'm living somewhere. If you are going to exist here, plugging into community, so even if all of these groups and leaders and different ages come and they get the information, we are making pathways so other news and things can get out, but you also have to make sure that you're doing your part in staying engaged and knowing what's going on, because public policy shaping, lobbying only works when there's a body that's surrounding it that's saying, yes, this is what we want. So it has to be a dynamic relationship.
Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks for what I heard from all four of you. What I'm hearing is that we should be now establishing a new vehicle, and that vehicle should be properly constituted with a constitution. Who can be members? How long is their stay in the seat of power, and so forth? Whether, if I'm a member, can I do it as an individual, and do I have to do it through Ghana Caribbean Association? So I'm hearing that vehicle idea, and I'm thinking there's a fresh energy coming from the table. Now, you use the word betrayed, I use the word, maybe sometimes people get into these positions, they're not properly constituted, therefore they're not properly representing us, the opportunists, and that mustn't exist anymore. I think we're coming here and we've got to drive our agenda forward with properly constituted body. So that will be the next thing. What does this physical piece of paper look like? And then we would then subscribe to it and so forth. One thing more, very quickly, and I hear the term diaspora, and I hear the term historical diaspora. For me, it's the historic African diaspora. You understand, for me, and the acronym I think is appropriate here anyway, because it says HAD. And I think people are trying to have us, and people are trying to deceive us, whether from within our own ranks and so forth. But you cannot be in an organization and sit there for 25 years and call yourself all manner of things. That is old. The way we're moving forward, the way younger people are moving forward, is to properly constitute our efforts to sit at the table and let Ghana and let the whole of Africa know that we're coming and we're driving this thing properly forward. No, I didn't hear it, I've got to say this. I didn't hear the vision. I heard a man who is genuine and sincere and saying we need to take this thing forward properly. There's going to be thousands coming, and they need to see that we're properly constituted, and they can become part of that, being a part of that process. So I'm ready to say, let's call it that. The strap line is a historical African diaspora. I think we need to make a little distinction there, because sometimes I hear it's a little bit convoluted.
Thank you for those points. I don't want to follow my mother. I just want to say one quick thing. And it was just, but I love that this is the environment that we're in, where Keyboy doesn't feel like he has to be silenced about what he's like, I can say this, all due respect, and there's a response. And it's like everybody knows that it's still love, and that there should be a platform for people to voice how they feel. I'm sure there could be others online or even in the room who felt the same, and what we continue to do.
I wanted to say, because this is so important, we're on this continent, and almost every traditional culture that I know of, character speaks louder than any. We cannot move forward without understanding that whoever represents us, whatever represents us, character must be the first consideration. I'm in a home for in the States with my godchildren. One just called me last week and said, the thing that you always taught us is no matter what you try to do, who you try to be, you have to reflect good character, integrity. And so, if we move forward with that, and I agree, you know, when Brother Roy said respect to me, because I guess I thought he was attacking my son. I like what Ntaki said, we're in an environment where we should be able to say and still move with love. When I looked at you, boy, I heard you coming through. And so the youth voice also has to be heard. But if we move forward with that understanding, then we won't have these issues again. This should have been addressed generations ago. But our ancestors have put it before us now. Because now, this continent now called Africa, but will change because Africa is not our name. We'll inherit the earth. And we need people with good character to be at home.
There are questions online.
Before you go into online?
Yeah, there are questions online, but I also want to be cognizant of the time because our technician has been here for quite some time. He was here from, I think, noon to open up for the church group ahead of us. And now we are about to get to 7. So I would say if we can wrap up everything within the next, let's say 5 to 10 minutes so that he can get home to his family, and we'll be considerate of that.
Okay, thank you. This was a question waiting for some time.
Yes, I don't know if it's been covered, but what I wanted to know is how long is it going to take for this change? Will it be possible to do the change before the next citizenship that's coming up? Is it going to be a long thing, as in changing over from the people that are Reverend Cohen and the other people? If we're not happy with them, how long is it going to take for the change? Because there would have to be change. Am I asking too quickly? No.
I can say that's not entirely in our hands. What we're going to do is we're going to write to government, specifically Diaspora Affairs Ministry of the Interior. And, you know, I've met with them on multiple occasions, and I would anticipate this also being, you know, an occasion where we can sit down, we can meet. The heads of the various organizations represented here can express the issues that have been, you know, ongoing, and more so the way forward, which to me, as I said, I think it has to be representative. I feel like if it's just one person, we don't want to replace a Rabbi Kohen with issues, just to replace with another Rabbi Kohen who's going to be there for the next 15 years. I feel like all of these different diaspora constituencies should be represented. But again, we can't entirely say that it will happen by X date, but we're pushing for as soon as possible, if not now, to meet with the government.
Thank you.
Just a quick one. Thank you. Thank you for this meeting. I believe we went very far and deep. And thank you for your courage, because you are the one speaking. You are the one who wrote us the past and the elements. So it's not gossiping, not academic space and all of this. So what I want to say, because we miss March time. This is March. So next time we meet, next time. I believe we can't go and not to Jubilee House every time we got a problem. I believe we need to address this historical diaspora people whatever we call it. We should go for all their challenges. So citizenship is for people who want to settle here. But there's some people who want to visit here. And I am speaking for myself. Not everyone are on the same base for being free and easy to come and visit. I am speaking about people from Guadeloupe and Martinique. They can't come here because they cannot do a visa on arrival. So all these issues going to be, and there are multiple, I'm speaking about some of my people went to Kenya because they can't enter this territory. Because we got a French passport, France is not in the list of the people for visa on arrival. And I think this issue got to be at the same level as citizenship. Because they are traveling, they want to come and maybe the first step for some of them. And this thing, because someone say go to the French embassy, hello, what kind of great link French embassy got with Ghana and what's that? No one will push nothing there. So if it is not us representing our people, and what I want to say is, even in the Caribbean, most of the people who are settling here might not be directly coming from the different islands. Even if their family is from Barbados, St. Kitts, Montserrat, most of the people who are settling and applying for citizenship are coming from Great Britain or America. So we should not forget the people who are really coming from the Caribbean Sea, like Guadeloupe and people from Martinique.
So thank you. And that just really speaks to, if you're coming from Mississippi, you can get a visa on arrival. If you're coming from Jamaica, you don't need any visa. You can just use your Jamaican passport. And if you are coming from a French Caribbean country like Guadeloupe, then you can do neither because you can't get the visa on arrival. Am I correct? Okay, so thank you. That just speaks to our diversity. And I think this is my last question here, right? Okay.
Real quick statement, not a question, and I think that it's important that we're having this conversation because we've got to put forward the particulars of what it is that we're asking for. This sister just brought up how there are folks who are not able to come from these particular countries, but we have to be clear about who it is we are asking to be able to come from these particular countries with the French, right? And I think that sometimes those details we are a group of us. And so we'll go, oh, okay, yeah, we know who we're talking about. But when we start asking for these things to be put into bylaws of what it is that we're asking for from the government, we got to be specific because we don't want it to be open to certain people from other places with French passports that are going to be coming in on the Diaspora initiative because they have 1/16. If you know what I'm saying, right? So we have to be clear on what that looks like because if we're asking for particular provisions, we want those particular provisions to be given to us because of who we are and not to then be infringed upon by folks who continue to infringe upon the things that we start and we have.
Platform. Thank you. And this is, I believe, my last comment before we go online.
Yes, I'm gonna piggyback on what she said. This is gonna be a gigantic step forward going to the government. And you need to actually have a committee setting that's representative of different aspects of what you see as going forward. And added to that, you have to be much more diplomatic. You have to, what is your overall concept when you approach the government, knowing what personalities that you're going to be encountering when you approach the government, because to use an old American saying, we don't want to step on people's feet. And what I've heard, there was a lady from where I came from named Miss Avery. She's the exact same way. She headed the NAACP group for years. Miss Avery's almost
almost 95 when she finally got basically pushed out because she was afraid of losing her control and power. And that's what this is really all about. So it's very strategic that you find out a way to, even if you could bring her into the fold, but if not, you definitely do not want to alienate her, because with her history of 25 years, she's made some important communication, networking. She has, and you don't want to make enemies out of the people, because we're here on a new soil. We're actually like pioneers. We could go back like in America and say we're pioneers, and we want this one giant step that we're going forward. We have to make it work, and we have to have it in the way it should be.
Thank you. And with that, I'm turning it back over to you. Clap for her. Some people don't get stepped on.
So we have some people who are online. A couple of times the question was asked, will there be emails sent out about citizenship? And my response to that was, we anticipate that the government will send out either email or WhatsApp communication to those who are on the list and have been vetted in terms of that information.
They need to be in an organization. They should be receiving emails through their organization.
Right, you should be receiving emails through your organization. I do have individuals who applied and then they got direct correspondence or WhatsApp correspondence, but I reached out as well to Diaspora Affairs about when, what time of day the citizenship ceremony is gonna happen. And I was told that they have not set the date, the time of day. They're saying it will be 5th March, but they haven't set the time of day. But that information we anticipate to be forthcoming because we're getting very close to 5th March. So most likely in the next day or two. If you already submitted your information, you should be hearing from them soon. Okay, so I'm asking, can I have a directory of active organizations that we connect with, so everyone who's on this line has, registered for this call so we can send out information?
Yeah, and I can speak to that.
All right.
I think before it was, I guess, announced affiliations with the Black Agenda, I did want to apologize because after the last meeting, we said we would send out a list, and we just wanted to make sure that we were clear on what organizations were going to be wanted to be included in the list. And so I actually just got that clarity this morning. So I apologize for not getting it to you all sooner, but that list will be forthcoming after this meeting. It's actually going to be shared on a hyperlink, so you can just click on a website, a phone number, etc., and get connected to whichever organization you want to connect with. Hopefully multiple, because there's multiple overlap. And just because you're from one place doesn't mean you can't connect with others from other places. And also we do plan on giving you ongoing and regular news information. There's a lot that we should know and we should engage in. And as they are making policy decisions about historic diasporans, some of the pushback is that some historic diasporans are disconnected from community. And so part of what we're doing is making sure that we are connected, we do know what's going on, and that we can contribute in meaningful ways. So thank you.
And I believe Terry Lewis has a question. Do you want to come up mute and ask your question?
Yeah, I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, good evening. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I pretty much came here because I wanted to be able to get the citizenship and attend the ceremony, but I was getting so much conflicting information about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So now I hear that the residency permit isn't such a force, because that was one of the things I did not have. So I believe that reflected when I went to the Ghana, the CID headquarters. They was trying to charge me like 3,000 CDs to get the police clearance. So at that point, with the 25 and the 3,000, that was unforeseen. I kind of felt like, maybe I might need to try to go a different route. So I guess one of the things I wanted to ask, I'm hearing now that the vetting process is closed. So I'm just trying to figure out what or if there's anything I can do to take advantage of the time that I'm actually here, which is one of the reasons I came for, like I said, the citizenship.
Question, is he in an organization? Because some of this could have been.
Are you in an organization? Because some of that clarity could have come. Someone else mentioned that they got incorrect information as well in the chat. So, Brother Terry, are you in an organization as of now?
I'm in the group, See You in Ghana. I'm not sure if that qualifies, but I've actually been in direct conversation with the Ministry of Interior's office. And like I said, I got several emails, and some of the things were like misleading. So I figured once I get here, I can just go get the police clearance and then actually go there. But once I went to the headquarters, it was kind of like I kind of got threw off because they was trying to milk me, of course, and I was still interested at the same time. I was just trying to figure out if there was a different route that I could go.
So can we take his number and so we can get?
Yeah, so he registered for this Zoom, so we should be able to send out communication with the list of organizations. So the recommendation for you, Terry, would be to get in touch with one of the organizations, from multiple organizations on the list that you qualify or are interested in, let me say, and we take it from there, so you can make the most of your time while you're here. Let me limit it to 2 more questions, because we are past the time that I think our technician was anticipating us being here. Any other questions from those online?
I did want to offer a phone number. For those who are here in the room, I realize those in the room may not have registered online. So I did want to give a phone number that you can text so that you can also get the information about the different organizations. So please get out your phones if they have not shut off by now. Or you can take out a pen and paper, do it old school, that still works. So if you want more information and the links to the different organizations, you can text. SMS text or WhatsApp text 024-353-0110. Again, it's 024-353-0110 because you're in the room. It's a Ghana number, so you don't have to dial the +233, but it's a Ghana number. And just text your name, phone number, and email address, and then you can get the list. So please do not use that as your personal question and answer line. It is not a help. It's not a help line. It's just to get you on the list for more information. 024-353-0110. And for those in Ghana who are online, it's +233-24-353-0110. But we do have your information because you actually registered to get into this room. So either way, you'll also get those same links. And you can join internationally.
I think it should be something said about, I think Brother Terry mentioned the Facebook group, See You in Ghana. Those are not necessarily organizations or businesses that are dealing directly with
group. It was a WhatsApp group, not the Facebook one, but WhatsApp.
Okay. All right.
Is there any way I can get the lady number that was asking for my number to help me potentially?
I think what they're saying is you need to join a group. So
that list, yes.
Can I get her number?
So you'll get that once we send the list, and then you contact her directly. All right. So on that note, are there any other questions from those online? If not, we will go ahead. If there's a number in the chat, so please, you can text that for any additional information you need. Any other questions? I think we still have 50 some odd people online, so we appreciate your time and the time of all of those who are here.
As we wrap up, I just wanted to say that as we the different organizations that are here, we all have different points of where and when we entered into the Ghanaian space. And so our history with the coalition is different. You have some people that was there, some people that were sitting in the room, and then you have some of us that are just coming on board at leadership capacities. Again, this is not to further divide the community. This is the first time in 25 years, and this is what I was told by my elder, that all of our organizations have actually come together to take a one band, one sound action. So that is historic in and of itself. Historic in and of itself. You wanted to say something? She's just saying it's true. So we don't have all the answers, but what we know is we need that paradigm shift is shifting, and we're shifting with it. And so whatever advice, whatever energy you all have to add to the Black agenda, we need it. We're just taking a step because we know something has to change. This is not a character assassination on anyone. I still love Rabbi, I'm still gonna eat at Mabel's table. This is about leadership, and this is about can we get the information we need for families to make the decisions that they need to make in a timely information. You heard the brother on here saying he got mixed information from the government. You all being here on the ground know that sometimes we gotta break it down and we gotta make it plain and make it make sense for us. We have to be the interpreters. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, but I just wanted to be clear about what this is here today.
All right, absolutely. And people online are saying, I share for all the organizations coming together. I share. So it looks like we are finished with the questions that were online. And, you know, I can say as well,
He must have lost the signal. Did it go off for you too, bro?
I can't hear anything. This is Sister Iman. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm in Connecticut.
Yeah, I think the link will come back. How you doing, Sister Iman?
How are you? Who was that speaking? Oh, Brother
Terry,
Yazid?
I put the information for the AAAG in the chat to you if you want to join.
Okay, thank you. I just screenshotted it. I was gonna ask.
And I'll put.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go. And I sent you my phone number too, that you can WhatsApp me on my phone number.
Oh, this Robert.
Yeah, this is Robert.
All right, cool.
I'm on the ground too.
Where are you? Where are you, Robert?
I'm in Ghana.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the lady was. She sounded like she was trying to help me, but he said something about going to the website. Like those is just a longer process. So I already did.
Terry,
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I thought you had left off real quick.
No, we haven't left off. So we are trying to help you. So everybody registered for this online, so we have your email. So we're gonna send you a list of the organizations. The sister, you want to get her number. She's the president of AAAG. So we're gonna send the list of all the organizations. So if you're interested in AAAG, Ghana, Caribbean, Rastafari, Council, have all of those details. So she does want to help you. We all want to help you. So just sit tight and we're going to get that information to you.
Also, I just want to take a minute to say that we're planning a citizenship ceremony celebration on March 5th at the Polo Beach Club. We don't know what the government's plans are right now, so this is contingent upon the government's plan, but for right now, we want to, in the past, it's been difficult to kind of get together to celebrate, so we wanted to think ahead and come together and make sure that we have a place to go after the event so that we can celebrate and turn up, because it is a worthy cause. And just a note that everybody here on this panel, we have our citizenship. Some of us long time ago. Our only goal is to make sure that those of us that come behind, that are trying to pursue citizenship, that we also keep that door open for others to come. This is the new Underground Railroad, in case you don't know.
Called the Underground Railroad, flying on in. to the new Accra International Airport, right? All right, so I think on that note, we're gonna go ahead and close. Now I gotta get some water to do the closing libation, and then we'll formally close. And again, thanks to all of you who are in person and all of you who are online. We've had well over 100 some odd people in.
Shout out to T Bars Online who covered the Ghanaian citizenship ceremony that's taking place. So shout out to you if you're still online. We appreciate you. It's the African of the citizenship. You know, we always have to have an African. And thank you all for coming out. We know that you could have been any other place on this Sunday. Don't forget, March is Cultural Heritage Month in Ghana. So there's a lot of cultural heritage activities happening. Try to plug in.
All right. Abo.
Amen.
Abo.
Amen.
Abo.
Amen.
October riding up on Chiram Ponquara, Chiram, see amounts you. Assassin, I'm putting no more, assassin, you must have Jenny, they never be. Yeah. I want to know the model of the intimate moment back on Barton. As you're about the Vermina, not a broke out. And I'm the argument. I see you be as well as the default. According to one Sabin Kumini, we now free at the film for a piano, we know Mumra Jones. You're not known some for a senior phone, some for, gonna phone some for, some phone, some for, a second phone, some for, Yoko phone, some for, a corner phone, some for, a piano phone, some for, breaking phone, some for, Mumra Mumra. You're not known some for, your tones are from there, Montayachi, you say a true, and yet a Jinapua and a eto. And the Montina Jinapa, yes, all Hamkra, Mumanaska, my Bibia Hunya, my Ninfra, my Sonsi, my Kutimbu, my Bonibians, Yaquan. And then I say, here and Carbon and the mark before, Sarabaya, your between a side by your fee, as I say, if you the fee, now you bet here, you ban, Yambrana Jojo, Yantana, you sort of thing, they are mine, when as Ramadalma. After all, Campubia, Canona, before Jacket, upon a brother, my ye, but Sana to find out, and I got up when as Ramadalma. What's your name? Moshram Yami, a pie, Manorma. Moshana, Cosset. All right, everybody online, we're signing off. Give it to me, Abibifahodie, Black Power, Black Liberation.
Bye, y'all. Make sure you support our vendors outside. Make sure everybody get 1 or 2 Slurpees to take with you. I guarantee that you won't regret it.
It's a new day just to have different perspectives that need to be said. Yeah.
And we said it's still open, so even though good evening. I have an appointment with you tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Okay, yes, I just saw that come up. That's Calendly.
So I have a question. I'm ordering a boat to get back to my place, and it's asking me which like gate. Am I at Bush Canteen Gate? Yes. School of Agriculture, but I'm not an idiot. I put in Institute of African.
It's not giving it to you?
It's not good.
So Bush Canteen is close because that's close to the main gate. Let me see what.
So it found it when I went to type in where I was going, and then it changed. Okay.
So Institute of African Studies, that's the whole Institute of African Studies, where the new one. So Bush Canteen Gate is not too far from you if they're not giving you another option. Okay. So you just come out. So if you come out to the parking lot, you make a left. There's a gate that's going to be on your left. That's the main gate. Bush Canteen is on the right.
Can the taxis come in there?
They would need a university card to come in there. Yeah. Okay. So your best bet maybe is to stand outside the gate and have them. How long does the represent? Thank you. How they vote in? How they vote.
They must have shut it down.